that like
I feel like the sign is off.
I feel like it's a little on my side. I don't know.
There we go.
Boop boop doo. Doing the podcast. Where do I need to see it? Right. It is perfect.
Can you hear the audio?
I can hear myself.
Hello. Oh yeah, I knew I needed to.
Oh no. Slight technical difficulties. I feel like I haven't been here in so long.
I know, right? I got sheet to talk about.
I got some stuff to talk about too.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Come through clear. Can you not hear yourself?
Can you hear me that one? Or maybe it's that.
Yeah.
Can you hear through this?
Yeah. I can hear it. Yeah.
Was that not?
Testing.
Yeah.
1, 2. Testing.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Tech support.
On the air.
Here we go. So we're going to start the episode in 3, 2, 1. Yo, and hello and welcome to GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning HD. Where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. We are streaming live every Monday at 7:50 p.m. CST on twitch.tv/GameSpeakPodcast, Facebook.com/group/GameSpeakPodcast, and YouTube if you want to catch the show as it happens before anyone else. Be sure to go ahead and join our ever-growing community in the GameSpeak Podcast Discord at dsc.gg/GameSpeakPodcast to hang and talk games, battle and catch Pokemon, get show updates, find friends to play games with, and so much more. The show is 3 BFFs bringing you the hottest video game news of the week. I'm one of your hosts, Jamel Al-Jafra, alongside Brent Bass and Devin Mayer.
I'm back. After a long absence, I do apologize.
Yeah.
Been busy with the new job.
How's that treating you?
It's good. I've fit in really well with everybody that I work with.
And that's important.
Yeah. So like personality-wise, a bunch of smart asses up in there, wisecracking fellows.
Some wisecracking fellows.
Some wisecracking fellows.
Nothing wrong with that, you know?
No.
But learning a new industry is a lot.
Yeah.
So that is definitely challenging and stressful. But I'm doing it.
Good.
That's-
Heck yeah.
so-
I'm proud of you.
It's always been. It's been so long.
I know. Way
Challenging
too long. I've been
yourself.
playing hella video games. I went to the lake. Have y'all been to Lake Bryan? I think is what it
Once,
was?
a long time
No.
ago.
It's pretty cool over there, dude.
Yeah.
Like we went
Where's
there.
this at?
It's in Bryan.
Oh, okay. I was like, where the fuck?
But it's a big old lake, and there were people out there with like jet skis, and you
Yep.
know those like gigantic like $400 like inflatable things that are like have like
Trampolines
they're basically
and
like
climbing
yeah, like a
towers.
giant
Yeah, yeah.
fucking boat that's like inflatable. Like there was somebody
Yeah,
out there
yeah.
who had one of those, and they were like playing music, floating around the lake. It looked like a lot of fun. I was like, man, they got it going on. They were all hopping off of it and stuff. It looked like a good time.
Brent,
Sounds
my
fun.
friend, you just got a taste of the boat life.
I know. I got a little taste, and now I'm hooked. You know, I don't even have a boat.
Look, man, you
Dude,
don't know
boat-
shit about the
There were
boat.
some people out there with jet skis. You know what I'm saying?
Boat life is fucking lake life.
I was
is
thinking if
just
you
fun
had a
as fuck.
jet ski and one of those giant inflatable things, you could like pull the big ass inflatable thing slowly into the middle of the lake, and then ride your jet ski in circles
and then just
around
dock
it.
it. Yeah, and
Hell
then
yeah.
dock at it.
Extremely
whenever-
fun. You don't want no part
You
of
need
this.
you don't want no part of this. You need an anchor for one of those. That'd be sick. You could just throw your anchor
So-
off and.
Alternatively, what a lot of people do is get a pontoon boat, which is just a party barge, and then they have like
Yeah.
a jet ski to go do fast, fun
That
shit
would be
on.
like more expensive though, right?
True. That'd be
You know?
significantly more expensive. But that's what my family. I set up that my family had. We had 2 jet ski when they lived in Canyon Lake. We had
Jet
2.
skis probably aren't that expensive for what they are.
Depends.
Like, how much could you get a jet ski for? Like
Yeah, it can
like
range.
$1,000 or
Like,
something?
you-
Let's see.
I mean, you can
Like
find
a used
you
jet
could
ski. I don't
probably
need
find a
like the
running one.
fanciest jet ski. I just want it to work, you know?
I mean, my reference of jet ski prices are very old, but
No, it's very
you can,
expensive.
You can find some running ones.
Like a used one?
Yeah, a used running one for like
Are you looking at
1,500.
brand new ones? Or
says,
like,
well, yeah.
they got to be cheaper than a motorcycle, and motorcycles are like $5,000 or
Not
less.
a brand new one, no.
Not a brand new. We're
yeah.
not talking. I don't buy brand new
yeah.
shit. Okay, like let's just go ahead and put that out there.
On
like,
eBay, I'm seeing them for like, pretty expensive, like $2,000.
that's not terrible.
And that's what I was saying. Like a used running one, I would guess like $1,500.
Okay.
But
yeah.
it says a new jet ski typically costs around $6,000 on the low end of the spectrum, but
Yeah.
higher end jet skis
But it's
can
new,
cost.
so you would know that it's like doesn't have any miles on it or
Yeah.
anything. Like.
But that's a low end. On the high end, it can cost close to $21,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
but that's
Sea-Doo.
probably a dope ass jet ski, dog.
Yeah, that's
I'm
a big
talking-
It's
ass
got
engine.
wings, dude. It
I'm
actually
saying,
flies.
that shit probably is fucking really cool. Like,
Oh yeah,
No, it's dope.
jet skis
are a lot of fun.
Are fun. They're very dangerous though.
You didn't get CTE from jet skis though.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Too
saying.
much-
They're
too
very
much jet
dangerous.
skiing and like just like because like you're hitting wakes and shit like really fast and shaking your fucking brain around. Well, too much of that for a very long time can cause CTE.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I probably am like less intense than the average jet skier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say that until you get on a jet ski.
No, I've been on several jet
Oh.
skis. I just
Also, like, you can't see if somebody's like floating in the water. Imagine if you're just like going fucking full speed on a jet ski.
what are you talking about?
No.
Like,
on jet-
imagine somebody's just like chilling in the water. They're underwater. They come. It's dangerous. I'm just saying it's dangerous.
Most
You-
people
Not a-
aren't going to be
no.
swimming where you're like hauling ass with
Yeah.
the jet ski. There's like separate areas where you're supposed to go slow.
Or if they're just floating, they're next to a big boat. Or but
isn't,
also,
isn't that what happened to Usher's son though?
he
like,
got hit by a jet ski.
yeah, he got hit in the head by a jet ski or something.
Damn, that's probably a freak
we're
accident.
not saying
I mean.
we're not saying it can't happen, but like the chances of it, like on a jet ski, you got the best visual or best view of any like craft out
That's
there, really,
true.
because you have
That's
nothing.
true. There's
in
no
front of-
blind spots.
Yeah,
or
there's nothing in
anything.
front of you,
True.
and most
True.
times you're standing up too, so you have an even better view of like what's in front of you, and you just don't go by boats.
I guess
and
if
shit.
it was
But,
like a
people are
murky lake
idiots.
and somebody dove down and then
If
like,
they were under
just
there for
happened
a
to,
minute,
yeah.
yeah,
I don't know, man.
it'd have to be pretty big happenstance. I feel like.
I'm always
It's
like
your time to
cautious.
go if you get hit by a fucking jet ski.
That
you
would
know?
suck. To
Unless
go
you're
out.
wakeboarding, I've almost been hit by a jet ski while I was wakeboarding because some idiot tried to like go off of our wake and didn't see me wakeboarding behind the boat and came from like me to the computer.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm
that
saying.
was
it's sketch, bro.
well, but that's also goes back to not being an idiot. Like
Yeah.
if you like,
Did he like
But
hit
I
the
am,
rope?
though.
Like, did he like go between the boat and the rope that you were holding? Or
no,
like,
no, he would have got fucking
I was
clotheslined.
about to say that would have been kind of crazy if he just clotheslined somebody fucking when they jet skied through.
No, I was like mid behind the boat, and then the wake, goes off in a V from the boats, and he tried to ramp off the right wake and came like really close. Yeah, he was just being an idiot. Any normal person would have seen, oh, okay, this boat is towing someone. There's
Yeah.
a fucking line behind it. Like, the guy was just a dumbass. But
Also, I have this weird fear that you could be like jet skiing and then like a fucking snake just flies up onto your jet ski.
That was a very weird fear.
Yeah.
irrational.
It-
If it, oh my
Play too much Resident Evil, dude. Like, they're like something's gonna just.
Snakes! They just start flying at you. You hit the snake patch.
just like starts dragging you under and shit, like
Yeah, no, that would be horrifying if it actually happened though.
I mean,
like just a gator, anything animal related that
Gators
just
kind of freak me out a little more just because the state park is so full of them. But I think
Yeah.
it's really just the state park. It's kind of like a gator like.
yeah, you couldn't really
habitat.
take a
Like,
jet ski
Like
out
most
and-
of the lakes around here in
state park,
Texas
right.
aren't like our state park. Like our state park has a lot of alligators. I
Yeah.
don't think it's no.
I,
I don't
I
think
feel
that's
like
normal.
you'd be like on a jet ski in the state park and just be like dum, 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 dum.
The alligator.
You'd be like arrested for like lowering the alligator population.
That'd be
but
hilarious. There's just
Shoot 'em, little-
alligators floating around in the lake.
it's
After.
Well, I mean, there's definitely gators in like Lake Conroe, but they're not going to be in the areas where there's a bunch of boat traffic. They don't like that
Yeah.
shit. They're more afraid
Yeah.
of humans than humans are of them. Like,
Gar kind of freaked me out. I've had some
Yeah.
fucking alligator gar swim past like the canoe I was in that like make the canoe just go like
Yeah,
this. You know,
they can get big.
they're scary.
I wanna
They're
catch
real
some.
big and
I
scary.
want to go bow fishing.
I've
for
had
some
them
gar.
bite my like lure straight off the fucking like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you
they got sharp teeth. You
you'd
have to have a
have
good
like
leader.
a heavy duty fucking like deep sea line to catch some of those
Yeah.
big ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need
And they
like
got sharp
treble,
teeth, yeah.
treble and a leader, like
Mhm.
either like a really thick nylon leader or like a steel leader.
Yeah, I saw an episode of River Monsters where he caught one in like
Yeah.
fucking like Trinity River.
He
or
caught
some
like a
shit,
record
like,
one out of Trinity River.
It was crazy, like.
Yep.
That's scary.
But yeah, no,
Anyways, lake life, yeah.
yeah,
Lake life.
Running over and getting hit by snakes.
Yeah.
dude, I fucking,
But-
like I told you guys, I was fucking, you know, I'm on a budget, you know what I mean? And today I was like leaving Walmart and I fucking checked my bank account and I was just like $100 was gone. I was like, what the fuck happened? You know what I mean? Where did this money go? You know what I mean? So I went and checked my like bank statements. Fucking, I forgot to turn off the recurring billing for
Amazon.
No, for fucking PlayStation Premium or whatever.
Oh.
So
Damn.
they hit me with $120
Ooh.
fucking PlayStation Plus fee.
That,
Fucking.
yeah.
So I guess I got it for another year, but goddamn, dude, like that
Yeah.
is, if you have subscribed to the 1 year thing for PlayStation, make sure you turn that shit off because they will hit you again next year. They really will, dog. Like,
Yeah. I imagine it's kind of hard to get a refund on that.
Yeah, that's
for-
what I was saying. I mean, Audra was like, "You can probably get a refund." I was like, "Well, it's kind of crazy because, like, I mean,
Digital customer
in a way,
service.
I'm already using the fucking service. You know what I mean? As
Mhm.
soon as they charge me for it, I'm like
in it.
in it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah, and the PlayStation is like notoriously bad with their like refund shit.
I've had experiences with PlayStation and asking for refunds that have ended positively. I think PlayStation's refund policy is a lot like Steam's, where it's like they monitor how long you've played the
Yeah.
game. So it's like if you've played for less than like 2 hours or something, then they'll give you a refund on it
Mhm.
or something. I don't know. I've had good experiences with PlayStation's customer service in the past. You know what I mean?
I haven't had any personal experiences with PlayStation's customer support, but a buddy of mine that I had just a regular PS4 took a lightning strike and just the Ethernet port went out in it. So I was like, oh, fuck this. And I was like, got a PlayStation Pro and then
Yeah.
held on to the PlayStation 4 for a while, sold it to a buddy. And he's like, well, shit, I'll just send it into PlayStation. I was like, all right, well, that's going to take like 6 months to get back.
Yeah.
Because apparently, yeah, you can just send them in. If it's small parts like that, you can send them in and PlayStation will fix it and send it back to you. They got it back to him in like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. You know, back in the Red Ring of Death days for the Xbox 360, I went through like 3 or 4 Xbox 360s because of red rings of death or malfunctioning disk drives. And every time I sent it in, they repaired it for free because it was under warranty, and they fucking sent it back within like a week, like less than a week. It was actually really impressive. But that was a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
Yeah, so you do anything, Devin? I mean, you've been gone for 10
yeah,
years.
I've been gone for. No,
Yeah, you gotta have done something.
I hadn't really done much, honestly.
Studying for work and stuff.
I mean, on the weekends I've just been chilling. Like this past weekend, vegged out, just kind of decompressing, staying away from my phone and electronics because I have to be very just attentive. Attentive.
I think you're right. Attentive.
I always have to be checking my phone and making sure I'm up to date on every email,
Yeah.
text, whatever that comes through. So yeah, this past weekend just vegged out, and then last weekend didn't really do anything that weekend either. So yeah, just been focusing on work.
Good.
So I've been gaming a little bit though. So
Oh, nothing wrong with that.
Got something to talk
Nothing
about.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
What about you fellas?
Yeah.
What you
I've
I
been
ain't
chilling
done
hard. I've been having a really good week, just hanging out, just enjoying life. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Jamal? What have you done?
Nothing.
Not enjoying.
Yeah, not enjoying life. No,
Do
I'm
you
just
taste stuff again, or are you?
Yeah,
smelling,
yeah,
Smelling good.
I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back, baby.
Fully back. Everything tastes right.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's like maybe a little bit like off, but like everything's for the most part back. Like there was like a couple days where I was like, oh my fucking goodness, everything tastes like ass and trash, and like and then it came back. So
Okay, see, I never lost my taste, but I lost my smell completely. And then
Huh.
when it did come back, didn't come back the same. There
Yeah.
were like several
No,
things.
Same here. There's some things that still taste and smell different to me, like to this day.
There-
To this
Yeah.
day.
Like I'm
to
talking
this
like
day.
There are
like
things
that
that I
are
used
very
to not
significant
like.
smells smell completely different.
There are some like, and I honestly think the taste and the smell thing are related. You know how
Very.
like
Yeah,
the taste,
that's-
like is 80% smell or whatever. Like you hold your nose and you eat a potato, it tastes like an apple.
Bullshit.
I know it's all bullshit, but like
But
at the same
it
time,
does play
there
into
is
it.
something
Yeah,
to
yeah.
that.
No,
You
it
know,
smells
Yeah, I was about to
definitely
say, if I can't smell, I can't taste. Like, there's a very, like, mine is, like, directly correlated.
relating.
Yeah, it's very strange.
I can
Like,
still taste pretty well. I couldn't taste. Obviously, my taste was dulled, but it didn't go away with my smell being completely gone.
Yeah.
Because I'm always fucking congested too, and I'm a mouth breather. So like, eating food when I can't fucking smell anything is a very normal thing
Yeah.
for me. So I think that also played into it as well. Like my taste buds have gotten used to not having the help of smell.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it came back, yeah, it was different.
maybe that's what it is. I don't breathe through my mouth. I hate breathing through my mouth.
See, like, look, even right now, I'm freaking congested. It's all the time.
You need Mucinex, sir.
Dude, I can't afford how much Mucinex I need.
Like, that was like, as soon as I got sick, I started taking like Tylenol and
Yeah.
Mucinex. Tylenol every like 4 hours, Mucinex like twice a day.
Yeah.
I was like,
no, yeah, I
fucking
pack it on when
not
I'm sick.
dealing
I
with
pack
that.
it on for sure, because then I'm like extra congested. Like right now, I've got one nostril free. That's good for me.
good.
That's horrifying. That's literally sounds horrifying to me. That I get like claustrophobic if I can't breathe through my nose.
Well, a lot of times it's not even like it's not mucus up there that's stopping up my nostril. It's literally just my sinuses just swelling up.
Just swollen,
Yeah.
swilling.
Yeah, like because either I fucking breathed or maybe being around Ollie, like it just my allergies are bad.
Ollie, you bastard.
I
No,
literally would have to take medicine or allergy medicine every single day, and so just sometimes I'm just like I don't care.
Well, let's get into the games.
we
Yeah, because I don't really have much to talk about.
Glad
Man,
you're feeling better. Not
appreciate that.
Don't got the vid no more.
Yeah, it feels great not being sick. Like you honestly, like you take for granted what it feels like not being sick until you get sick, and you're like, oh my fucking goodness, like
Just wanna
take
feel
me back.
normal again.
Yeah.
Feel that.
But yeah, the One Piece live action show comes out in like 2 or 3 days.
I keep seeing
Does it
like
really?
things
Mhm.
about it. I don't know anything about One Piece, so it's like
The funny thing is I've watched up to Skypiea, which is like a little bit after where the live action stops. So I'm literally, I mean, like this might get me into the show if it's good. I might go back and start watching more. I'm definitely going to check out the live action.
Nothing can
But-
get me back into the show.
But let's get into the games. What have you guys been playing?
Ooh.
ooh.
Oh, you'll do.
I only got one, so
What have you been playing?
motherfucking Armored Core.
Oh, how's
How
that?
is it?
I love it.
Is
It was
it-
everything that I hoped it would be.
Is
Fuck
it
yeah.
like Elden Ringy or is it like not?
As far as the bosses being or depending on your build and how you play, like the bosses can be an absolute pain in the ass bitch. Yeah. But I mean, other than that, no, not really. I mean, you definitely see FromSoft's like signature bosses in there, but then the rest of it is more just like mech fighter going through a level, doing this and that, doing a little bit of exploring, but it's not as it's the exploration isn't even almost there like it is with Elden Ring.
Is it cool?
Oh, dude, it's badass.
Is it cool?
It's very cool, and there's so many different. Like, I just finished chapter 2 today. Actually, I made sure to fucking as soon as I got home, I just like was grinding out because I got stuck on a boss, and so I made sure I wanted to finish chapter 2 and get to. You don't unlock multiplayer until after you finish chapter 2, and so I finished chapter 2, tried a multiplayer match, got my ass fucking handed to me, which I figured. I mean, I was going into it blind. I'm sure people have looked up metas by now and this and that. I used a build that I thought was pretty good for this boss just to deal high damage and also tank a little bit, but still didn't. I just got ran over. But I've tried a bunch of different builds. I've kind of found what works for me, what weapons I like, how to work down bosses. A lot of the bosses that I've come across, they're kind of like a DPS race. And not so much mechanic filled, or not mechanic filled, like there's not a lot of one shot moves from the bosses,
Yeah.
or at least as much as I thought there would be. Kind of like, because I guess I was, kind of taking my expectations from Elden Ring to this game, which was not, it's not a good thing to do. It is a really cool game, but don't expect Elden Ring or even Dark Souls for that matter. I mean, it's definitely its own thing with FromSoft's signature in there. Like the bosses are badass, they look cool as shit, have all kind of different moves and stuff. It's definitely unique in that matter. But then the rest of it is just going through pretty linear maps and whatnot, and fighting a bunch of smaller enemies, and utilizing different builds to do different things.
Is there a story?
There is, but it's not. It's not.
Does it make any sense?
It's like
kind of, yeah. But it's not like super story focused. I think they focused a lot more on gameplay because there's not even like cutscenes or anything for the most part.
That's what my question is, like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, all the dialogue. I mean, you're a mercenary, and then you have a handler. Like you're basically you're.
So there's like a person in the mech, or is it just like the mech is alive?
Yeah, you're an augmented human. So I guess you're a person in the mech, and then like you get freaking hired by this like merc group or this guy who like hires mercs and sends you out on jobs and stuff.
Oh.
And then it starts to change a little bit. You get involved with a certain aspect of this planet in a weird way.
Yeah.
And then the story is developing from there. I'm still fairly early into it. I don't even know how many chapters total there are, but I'm pretty sure I'm still fairly early into the story.
Okay.
But there is a story. It's not anything as captivating as like Elden Ring or Dark Souls. I mean, because there's all like whenever you're talking, you're literally just in your bay looking at your mech, and then like it's just like little deals of like little calls, like call windows come up, and it's just all the dialogue is through that. There's
Honestly,
no faces,
feel like Elden Ring and
you never
Dark
see any
Souls
people.
are all just like super weird. Like
I was
the
about to say,
fucking
I don't even
story
know what the story is in
kinda
those
fucking
games.
trash
Yeah.
in those games. Or it's not, I just can't fucking follow it. You know what
This
I mean?
one-
Like,
This is
it's
definitely
like,
a lot easier
it's
to
like Kingdom
follow.
Hearts level fucking nonsense. Just you know what I mean? Like
Armored Core, though, this one is actually made by the is like directed by the same one who directed Sekiro, so like it's separate from
Sekiro was fucking so good, dude.
Yeah, it's super linear. Like, I know that there's 3 different endings that you can have. Because I think you can go off with different, like, I don't know if it's mercenary groups or companies or whatever. Because you'll do different missions for different like groups, whether they're like companies or mercenary groups or whatever. You'll do like different missions and stuff.
It's so Japanese. Just something about all of it is like it's just like a mech, and then like you
yeah.
work for like mercenary companies, like and it's like I don't know. It's just it sounds like an anime. All of it.
Overall, it's fucking sick. I've been having a great time with it because I played oh god, what was it? There's this old mech game on
Mech Assault.
No. I'll look it up. But there's this old mech game that I played on PS2 that like.
Mech Warrior.
No, it's God damn it. All right,
There's only.
I'm gonna look it up. No. It's a pretty niche one.
Don't say Robotech because it's not mech.
Enders.
Oh, I remember.
Zone of the Enders.
Yeah, Zone of the Enders.
Zone of the Enders.
Yeah,
I played
yeah.
that way back in the day and got a love for mech fighters from that. And then when I never heard about Armor Core until 6 was coming out, and looked into that, and I was like, yes, like freaking, it scratched a very long itch that I've had since playing Zone of the Enders when I was a kid.
I feel like
Heck
mech
yeah.
games used to be way more popular back in like early, like PS2, PS3, even like just a little bit of PS3, but mainly PS2, original Xbox. Like mechs were just a thing. They're
Hell
just,
yeah, they're fucking dope, man.
I'm surprised there's not more like VR mech games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be dope. There's one decent one I heard, but I've never played it.
Remember that original Xbox game that cost like $200 to play because you would have to buy like all the shit, and it was a mech simulator game. Do you remember that shit?
No.
It was like a full-on, like, it was a mech game, but you bought like all this extra shit, and you're just like fucking running a mech. It was.
I know I had like a silent scope set up that was like a fucking $100. Like it had the fucking
Yeah,
rifle
I remember
and
that.
everything. It was tight.
It was like the arcade
Yeah.
version of it. Yeah, I don't remember what that mech game was, but I'll have to look it up later. But
overall, Armor Core 6, badass. If you like mech fighters in any form or fashion, get it. You will love it.
Nice.
Nice.
Lots of different options too for your builds. Like you can go super light to super heavy to in the middle, and a mix of the two, and then all kinds of different weapons to fuck around with and figure out what you like. So
That sounds pretty cool. I might have to check that out. But
Yeah,
I think I'm going to be occupied for the next few months. You know
Oh,
what I'm
dude,
saying?
yeah, I know. I'm trying to get all my Armored Core 6 gameplay in because I know as soon as Starfield drops, I'm not touching it.
Oh,
It's like I've got a lot of game to play coming up.
same. By the way, it's called Steel Battalion. It was created by Capcom.
Okay.
It was a where the player controls a vertical tank. It says to control the tank and play the game requires the use of a large controller made specially for Steel Battalion. The controller consists of 44 input points.
Jesus Christ.
And also uses 2 joysticks, a throttle handle, a radio channel dial, 5 switches, an eject button, and 3 foot pedals.
Oh my god.
That's fucking dope.
It was tight, but like it was like a very niche and like expensive to play.
Probably really tight though.
It's Capcom, yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Dude, the movement and the fighting in it, like control wise, is really good and intuitive. And it reminds me, Ant in our Discord brought this up. It's kind of like Budokai Tenkaichi 3, or like the old
like
Dragon Ball Z. How you're just like flying around and constantly moving and shooting stuff off, or like moving in for like melee. It's very super fast paced fighting like that.
Nice.
So yeah, it's cool.
Cool. Brent?
Well, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. Still playing it. Really liking it. I think I'm getting close to the end. I don't know.
What act are you in?
Act 3.
Oh,
Are you having issues with it? I saw
Hell no.
a post about people having a lot of issues with Act
I'm be
3
honest,
specifically.
that
I
might
don't
be
think-
Steam Deck though.
I don't think there's anything that my computer can't do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's like it's not a performance issue. It's like
Oh, really?
issues with the game itself.
I know that the game got a patch pretty recently,
Mm-hmm.
and any small bugs I was having have been
This article
seem
was even
ironed out.
post patch.
Oh,
People
really?
are still having issues.
I-
I don't know. I didn't read into
For
that
me,
article.
it's playing really well. I don't have any issues
That's
with the
good.
game. You know what I mean? Even on Steam Deck, I've actually, like, a lot of times games that are, like, verified for Steam Deck will still crash every now and then. And I've only, in the, like, 100-something hours I've played this game, I've only had it crash one time on my Steam Deck. And that's it. You know what I mean? Fucking, so I say, you know, A+ for where it's at right now. The only persistent glitch that I have is that sometimes during cutscenes a little black square will just like flicker on the screen randomly and then go away. But that doesn't happen very often and not nearly enough to like be like immersion breaking. You know what I mean? It's just weird, you know? I don't know what that is or where it came from, you know? But all in all, like, I'm still not finished with the game, and I'm already thinking about all the things I'm going to do the next time I play through the game. Like, I'm really enjoying it. Like, honestly, if fucking Starfield wasn't coming out next month, I would probably just immediately start it over as soon as I'm done with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's
What's
that,
one of the best moments that you've had in it?
Oh, my God. There's so many good moments. The most fucked up moment I've
Yes,
had
that's what-
is like me and my buddy were like playing together, and we run in this cave, right? And there's like a big ass owlbear in the cave, and it's like we do this like perception check, and it's like we pass the check, and it's like, you notice there's a baby owlbear in the cave, and then it's like the mother's gonna let you walk away if you don't attack it. And we were like, fuck it, let's kill that bitch. So we killed the fucking owlbear, and then we fucking, talk to animals to talk to the fucking baby cub. And it's like, oh, Mom, get up, please.
Oh, my God.
So hungry. And then it just starts eating its dead mom fucking, like, in front of us. So
I feel less bad for it.
It was
it
pretty
didn't
gnarly,
love
dog.
its mom. It just wanted food.
I
It
guess
was like,
so.
Mom, get the fuck
it
up.
was
I need
hella
food.
sad, dog.
That's fucked. That's super fucked.
And, you know, just shit like that. You can be real evil in that game if you want to. You know what I mean?
So what'd you do
Yeah.
with the baby?
I just left it there to eat its mom.
No, you know, normal stuff.
Should have just put the poor little bastard out of its
Yeah, I
misery.
could have, but I was like, you know, maybe one day
It's gonna come back.
It'll
up,
come back and-
mutated
Could you like
owlbear.
take it? Could you like?
I already have an owlbear cub at my camp, so I don't know.
Goodness.
I don't know.
How many owlbear moms are you killing?
That one just happened to be on the side of the road, and I found
Uh-huh.
it. You know what I mean?
Changing his story now.
Yeah.
Look, you know.
Like owlbear serial killer out here.
For that one, we cast incinerate on its mother and let it watch it burn.
No, but it's such a good game, dude. And like every situation it puts you in, there's like a million different ways it can play out. Like, which is why I'm so excited to go back through it. Maybe even a second or third time. Like, it's crazy how different I feel like it could be. You know, like,
and that's the biggest allure to the whole game is just like the endless possibilities of everything.
It's crazy, and the combat is like, there's just like a million different options whenever you're in combat. Like, you can just do so much shit, dude. You could shoot the chandelier and knock it down. You can pick up a chair and smash somebody in the head with it. You can fucking like push somebody off a cliff. You can like use a grenade that sucks people towards it to like pull everybody into a pit. You know what I mean? Like, you can do so many different creative things that like that are rewarding feeling whenever it works out the way you want it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like creative shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I'm really enjoying it. I think it's my favorite game I've ever played. I really do think that. Like, I'm enjoying it so much, and there's so many different cool characters. It's like a mix of everything I like from a video game, like all in one game. You know what I mean? I really think it's going to be a contender for Game of the Year if Starfield is even kind of slacking even a little bit. You know what I mean? But I don't think it will be. And I think Starfield's going to win the Game of the Year just because it's Starfield. You know what I mean? Like,
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I honestly think it's going to go to either Tears of the Kingdom or Baldur's Gate. One or the other.
If we have to go for one or the other, I feel like Baldur's Gate is unparalleled. Like, it's so good. Tears of the Kingdom is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. Like, I'm not even joking. Like,
yeah.
I'm putting it like top 5, top quality good. You know what I'm saying? And even then, it's like Baldur's Gate has just got so much content and like dialogue and like fucking just shit to do and stuff. It's insane. Like, it's really mind blowing how much like attention to detail they've put into Baldur's Gate. Like,
I'm willing to bet money Tears of the Kingdom wins. Like, I'm not even talking about from my own perspective. I'm just talking about how Game of the Year works.
I don't know, man. I really think
because it's all based off of
I think
the
recency bias is a real thing. You know
for sure.
I mean? I think I don't know, man. I think if it comes down to Tears of the Kingdom versus Baldur's Gate, I think Baldur's Gate might take the cake. I really do.
Well, no, it's the problem is Game of the Year doesn't get based off of like normal people.
Well, that's exactly why I think Baldur's Gate has a more fair shot at it, because fucking only people that are like voting on this are reviewers that have actually played the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
not just reviewers. It's just anybody in the industry. It's critics. So
well, I'm just saying, most of these people have probably had hands-on time with both games, so I feel like it's more of an informed...
But Nintendo gets a Nintendo like buff. They always get like a little extra bit, like towards, for whatever reason. I don't know why that is, but they always get like a little extra.
Maybe it's because the developers are working with like limited hardware and stuff, you know, and it's like it's more impressive when they do something crazy
nostalgia
cool, you know
too.
what I mean?
I think nostalgia, like there's a bias towards Nintendo whenever it comes to the critics. Like, they always win. They always do, because it's very, and also I think they don't put a game out but like every 3 or 4 years, so when it does come out, it just kind of wipes the floor, like no matter what. And then, you know, Tears of the Kingdom kind of changed a bunch of shit. So it's like, I feel like they also feel kind of bad if they don't give it to Nintendo because of that, because it's like every 3 or 4 years, you know.
But even then, fucking Baldur's Gate is sitting at a higher Metacritic score right now than fucking, you know, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
I don't know why I call it Legend of Zelda, you know what I mean? And
Is
it's
it?
like, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And,
we're about to check
you know,
this.
if those are the people voting, it's going to be a tight race. I really think so, you know. And then we haven't even factored in Starfield yet. That's a whole nother beast that's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
yeah, I think if Starfield has a really good start and it's not super buggy or has a bunch of issues, I mean, it could be up there.
Yeah. I think people have really big expectations for Starfield, you know, and it's going to be hard to you know, match everybody's like hype, you know what I mean? So if it can like get close even, I feel like it'll be, you know, I don't know.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about the critics, and I'm just stoked to play the shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I am interested. I think the critics matter in our industry and what we do, you know what I mean? But I don't give a fuck about like, you know, what they say in regards to me buying and enjoying a game, you know what I mean? But I do think it's important for critics to represent games fairly.
Baldur's Gate is officially 1 point higher than Tears of the Kingdom on Metacritic.
Well, I mean, there's when you're at like a 98 or 99, there's not really much higher you can go.
Yeah, well, it's 97.
They're both like the highest rated games of all time, basically. You know what I mean? Which is wild in today's society where everybody just destroys everything for no reason. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, for sure. I think we'll see. Like I said, I think it'll come down to just like, is Nintendo gonna have their little extra buff that they get every time they come out with shit?
Yeah.
And plus, it's way more casual than like Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is a very niche. Like, everybody can play it.
I will say this:
difficult.
there's not very much casual about fucking Tears of the Kingdom. You know what I'm saying?
That's not true.
Like,
you can just jump in and do whatever the fuck you want.
You can also just jump in and do whatever the fuck you want in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's a lot of reading. There's a lot of dialogue. Like, Nintendo is notoriously no dialogue. You just like jump in and just like, huh? And then like you just fucking do whatever you want. Like, kids can play it. You can't put a kid in fucking.
You know how many tutorials I had to look up on goddamn Tears of the Kingdom versus how many tutorials I've looked up in Baldur's Gate?
True, but you also wanted to beat the game.
Simple shit in fucking Tears of the Kingdom, fucking to find simple things. You know what I mean? Or like hints from you, where I never would have found shit if you hadn't like.
Though you wouldn't have known if you never missed it. That's the thing. They make it to where it's like you don't know. Like, you could have played that whole game and never came across the like house build, like building and stuff like that, and you would have never known. You would have been just fine.
I'm just saying, one game is like doesn't tell you where to go and you kind of have to figure it out for yourself, and the other one is just basically like 20 different people are like, hey, you should go to the magic store, you know what I mean? Shit might get crazy if you go to the magic store. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but you could also completely miss out
you know
on that, like in that game as well. Like,
yeah, but I mean, you're less likely to because you have NPCs like encouraging you to do stuff regularly. Where I mean, Zelda does too. Don't get me wrong, but they're like not dialogue. There's no voice acting. I mean, there is voice acting. Actually,
there's a lot of voice acting.
They did a good job with the voice acting in Zelda, but still not comparatively to like. It's apples to oranges, but at the same time, it's like,
I don't know.
I feel like Zelda isn't just like a super easy game to pick up and play.
Definitely not super easy, but it is family friendly. It's like you know what I'm saying? It's not, you're not gonna have an owlbear mother murdered and then like
that's true.
As like a basic consumer that has not played either of these games, I've got to go with Jamel on this one. As far as like looking at what I've seen of both of them, which is just purely gameplay at this point, not having.
There's no dice in Zelda. Like I think that's a huge problem. Not problem, but like a huge factor when it comes to will a kid play this or not. If a kid sees dice, they might just be like, I don't want to play Yahtzee.
I don't see why that would matter. You know what I mean? Like,
because kids want open, like, I just want to run around and, throw a sword and do things, like, and I feel like this is a more mature game. Like, just in general, it's mature. Like, one, you can open a barn and there's some stuff going down. I'm not going to spoil that.
Look, I'm not arguing that this is a game made for adults. I'm just
saying, that's all I'm saying.
I'm saying, like, if only adults play
I'm talking about
games,
casual versus, like, very niche, like, in a way. Like, this game, like, Tears of the Kingdom is so open that a 10-year-old could play it or a 30 to 40-year-old could play it. Like, I feel like you're not going to have a little kid playing Baldur's Gate 3, and if you do, you should probably stop that child right now. Like,
I don't know, man. Like, I feel you 100%, but at the same time, like, I don't know a single 10-year-old who has played fucking.
I don't know any 10-year-olds.
You know what I mean? And I don't feel confident that a 10-year-old could beat the game.
You don't think that your nephews played Tears of the Kingdom at all?
I know that my nephews have not played Tears of the Kingdom.
Really?
They're young, man. They couldn't They couldn't fucking do that. They're like 6 or 7. They're like,
yeah.
Could you have played it when you were that young?
Maybe when I was like 10 or 11. Yeah, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But at the same time, I don't know, man. I don't think I would have grasped it. I don't think I would have fully comprehended.
You still would have played it though. That's what I'm saying. It's like
I would have played it like I played the old Zelda games and never left Clock Town. You know what I mean? Like,
but you did. You know, that's what I'm saying. But you wouldn't have played Dark Souls at 7 or 8. You know, like not that Baldur's Gate is Dark Souls, but it's in the same vein where it's like a little bit darker.
I'm just saying, like, to fully comprehend Zelda, to fully, like, you can play it, but you're not gonna, you're gonna have that, like, never leave Clocktown experience if you're a little kid trying to play it.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get to fully digest both games, I feel like you almost need a mature mentality. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Definitely. I don't know. I don't even know where we're going with this. All I'm trying to say is I honestly think Zelda's still going to win, even though Baldur's Gate probably deserves it more.
I don't think so, man. I really think Baldur's Gate's going to beat Zelda. I really do.
Ooh,
well, I think Starfield's going to win. There.
I 100% believe that Starfield's not even going to come close. Like
I think Starfield could win. I don't know. We have to see it.
I'll die on this mountain.
We'll have to see. I have to see
snowy
some
peak.
reviews and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It's a cold,
No,
snowy
I'm
peak
speaking
up
on a
there.
game. Yeah, I'm speaking on a game that hasn't come out. But that's going to be my only dog in this whole fight is Starfield because I'm not going to get Baldur's Gate and I don't have a Switch to play fucking Tears of the Kingdom. So
What else?
I'll be Team Starfield.
What else
get Baldur's Gate.
did you play besides Baldur's Gate, or is that all you've been playing?
Oh no. So I played that, and then I played. I always try to play No Man's Sky, and then remember how much I fucking hate that kind of game. You know what I mean? Like, I just hate it much.
I played
bro.
No Man's Sky this week as well.
It's fucking beautiful. I tried so hard. I was like, oh, I got a new update. I'm gonna check it out. Fucking
Echoes.
Yeah, I pop on the VR. I'm like, oh man, this is fucking sweet. And then I walk around the planet for a little bit, laser and stuff, and I'm like, all right, this is fucking lame.
You didn't even leave the planet?
Damn.
I flew around. I don't know what to do. I just fly to another planet. What do you do? Like, you go.
Oh, there's a bunch of different things you can do.
Cut up some planets, and then you go to the next planet and cut that planet up.
No,
Like, what are you supposed to do? What is the point?
Go to the social hub. Next time you play, go to the social hub. You can get missions and do different
You can get
things.
missions?
Yes, there's missions in the space
Do you
stations.
actually do things? Like,
Yes.
what?
Yes, there's missions in the space stations and the social hub.
There's space stations?
See, Brent,
What the fuck?
Yes, every system you go to has a space station. It's marked with a yellow marker. Just fly out in space.
Fly to the space station?
Look around. Fly to the space. Start with that. That is like if you follow just the
I
beginning.
didn't even see the space station. I flew straight off the planet. I'm like, yeah, we're fucking ditching this popsicle stand. I flew to like this Saturn-looking planet. I was like, all right, this kind of sucks.
So I recommend start a new game.
Well, this place sucks.
Just start a fresh game, like start a new save entirely, and follow the beginning tutorial, and it'll walk you through all like the basics of the game entirely. And part of those basics is going to your first space station.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what I need.
first,
that.
you got to repair your ship. Whatever planet it puts you on, you got to repair your ship to be able to. If you don't do creative, you can do a creative, and then you don't have to worry about any resources or nothing.
Can you still do missions and stuff if you're in creative?
I think so, but there's no point. Because missions will give you credits or nanites, which is like upgrade material.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's a bunch of technologies that you can use to upgrade. You can get an entire freighter with a whole fleet of ships, like in the freighter, but also around the freighter, and send those on expeditions and shit. Like,
okay.
You can go from system to system. You can make your way to the center. You can pick a system that you like and go to a planet and build a fucking enormous base.
It did look really pretty, you know what I mean? And they had the fucking adaptive feedback on the triggers and stuff, which was pretty cool.
Have you even traveled to a different system?
Yeah.
You have?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I figured you hadn't if you hadn't even been to a space station.
I went to a couple planets and then I was like, all right, let's go to a different system.
Warp to a different system, yeah. So, I mean, in every system is completely different that you go to. They've gotten really good with randomizing their biomes and animals and stuff.
Cool.
So, yeah, he's saying not have you left the planet, but
no, I know.
I
left the whole galaxy.
But no, there's a bunch to it now. I mean, there's a fuck ton of No Man's Sky, but there's almost no point in playing it now because Starfield's about to come out. But
well, Starfield's not in VR. I mean, I'm not going to play it unless it's in, you know what I mean?
But no, there's a hell of a lot that you're missing with No Man's Sky.
Okay, I'll get back into it.
You can also do base building on your freighter. So once you have to travel around a good bit to come across, like, it'll give you like a random event.
You can fly the freighter into space.
You can't manually
Is it
fly it,
just
but
like-
you can make it teleport wherever you want, and then use it as a home base for that system, or you can like get in it and then warp to another system. It's got a bigger warp drive that you can go
Oh,
further
cool.
with it. You can also, there's a bunch of technology to upgrade on it. There's a bunch of technology to upgrade to get different parts that you can build out your base on the freighter, or you can build out a base on a planet. Then there's exo.
I need to give it another chance, man. I didn't.
Yeah, you're missing. You only you didn't even scratch the surface. Like you
I
got
just
on a
hate
planet.
survival shit, man.
Well,
I hate fucking dealing with resources. I hate fucking,
But they've made that really easy too. Like most planets that you go to and space, you can mine a bunch of resources and get an abundant amount of resources that you don't even have to worry about life support and all that stuff.
I have to give it another try. I did notice there was like guns on the ship and stuff, which was pretty cool.
Yeah,
you know
you
what
can
I mean?
you can get a whole artillery on a ship. You can have different ships for different things.
It was really pretty. Like the game itself
Yeah,
looks really
dude,
good.
it's gorgeous
you know what I
and
mean?
it's crazy. Like how far they've come. You can also make like certain animals and stuff. You can make them your pets and ride them and outfit them
yeah,
with
I saw
different
that.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a whole lot to do in it now. You just have to, you got to figure all that stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way is just do start a new game and then follow the tutorial.
Okay. Yeah, I've been playing that, and then I played Firewall Ultra, which is honestly a little disappointing. Like Firewall 0 Hour is like one of my favorite VR games ever from like the early PSVR days. It had like its own controller and everything. It was like this gun-shaped controller called the aim controller, and it was like you held it with both hands, and it felt like you were really holding a gun and shit.
Is Ultra the sequel? Did it just come out?
Well, I thought Ultra was the sequel, but it turns out Ultra is more of like a remaster of the first one.
Oh, okay.
What?
Which was a little disappointing. I was like, okay, new levels. And no, it's not new levels. It's the same levels redone in Unreal Engine 5, which in a way is kind of cool to see your like favorite old levels in like super high detail with like fucking like really good lighting and shit. But in a way, it's also kind of disappointing because it's like you guys didn't even make new levels. Y'all just fucking did the old levels
Reskinned
again.
it.
Yeah. Fucking and like the controllers feel weird, man. Like you're used to having the aim controller, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're used to having a device that like holds it in both hands. But in this game, like fucking you don't have like you have both hands because it's the PSVR 2, right? So you have like, the PSVR 2 controllers, and in this hand it holds the gun like a normal thing. But in this hand, like when you get too close to the like barrel of your gun, it's almost like a magnet or something is in your hand and it's like pushing your gun away. But then if you like grip when you're close to the gun, it grabs it like normal. But like it doesn't like let go when you let go of the grip. You have to push it, like toggles the grip. Like so.
Oh, that's not a hold. It's
But then even worse than that is like your main way to shoot, right? Like a normal, once you get your grip on the gun, you can like line up your sights and shoot. But that is less accurate than if you pull the left trigger on this controller. It does like a thing where it like aims down the sights and like puts it up to your eye. So like fucking you have these, like you can either play like a normal game and fucking be less accurate, or you can play like a fucking dumbass and fucking hit the aim down the sights button and it pulls the gun up to your face. It's just weird and it feels unnatural.
Yeah, very unintuitive.
It's really weird, especially considering how intuitive the first game was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes
like,
no sense. Why would they? How could they downgrade on the mechanics?
it's so strange, man. And like you don't reload with like you don't like pull the clip out of your gun and like reload a new clip. You like push the A button on this controller and then it does like this reloading animation. It's all really strange and like archaic feeling, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to even explain because it's like in some ways it's one of the best like looking games I've ever played. Like, you know what I mean? Like the graphics are stupid good, you know what I mean? But it's like it can't compensate for the fucking like I don't know, like just how wonky it all feels.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you Googled and looked at reviews and stuff to see if maybe you're just like missing something?
No.
Just scratching the
There's
surface.
definitely not the only person having these fucking
Yeah.
problems.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I was
it
about
is-
to say because I was like maybe
It's being
I
like
feel like-
universally panned right now as
Damn.
like yeah, like it.
Well,
it-
and Brent is a VR connoisseur.
yeah, I mean, the first thing I do is
True.
go through the fucking settings.
I just
and
wanted
check
to be sure
everything,
because I know people were
Wow,
hyping this
wow,
game.
Jamal. Wow.
No, man, I had high hopes for this one, man. And I will say this, there's still fun to be had. Like, I got in a lobby with some people earlier, and we had a good time, you know? It's just not as fun as the first one.
It's not what
I
you
mean?
wanted.
It is the same game as the first one, but with better graphics and worse controls, which, you know, it's not worth the trade-off, I feel like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the eye tracking, it tries to do things with the eye tracking, like navigate the menu and stuff. And it's so fucking wonky and annoying. Like, you have to be looking straight at the thing you want to choose. And then it's like, even then, it's kind of off. So you have to, like, kind of look to the right of shit that you want to choose. And then, like, it's really weird and fucking unsettling. And then, like, to throw a grenade, you have to use the eye tracking. So, like, you have to, like, pull the pin on the grenade and then, like, look where you want to throw it. And it, like, uses your pupils, which sounds like it would be cool, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just fucking
and then
annoying,
do you let go and it throws it automatically?
Yeah, huh?
Fuck that.
You don't even like pull. You don't even get to fucking.
This is VR.
It's VR.
This sounds like a terrible mashup of like a flat screen and a VR game.
And it's so annoying because it's like the Unreal 5 technology in VR is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Like graphically, it is just stupid looking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't wait to see other games use Unreal 5 in VR.
Go play Pavlov.
Is it Unreal 5 now?
Pavlov just got an Unreal 5 update not too long ago.
Yeah,
and it
dude.
is like...
It's crazy how much different it looks, right? Like the lighting and shit in the levels.
Yeah,
like,
which Pavlov already looked great, but like now, like everything, like all the details on the guns and everything, like everything is just so fucking crisp.
It's really nice, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Sweet.
What about you, Jamel?
Well, first off, of course I played some more Warzone. I'm platinum now. Just want to throw that out there. Finally. And then I stopped because I was like, all right, Hans is overseas, and that's and Byram's back at work. Got
he's
nobody
on the
to
road.
play with.
Nobody to carry you.
No, I could. No, I could play with. I was actually doing really fucking good. You can ask them like the last like week or so. Like that's how I got to platinum. Like I don't know what, but like I just fucking went nuts and was just like carrying other people.
Hell yeah.
But then like after they left, I was like, okay, I'm platinum. I'm good. I'm kind of over it right now. I don't know. So I moved on. I went back to Persona 4 for a little bit. And then I heard that there was a remaster of Star Wars Dark Forces coming out, and I was like, that's interesting. So I went and looked it up, and apparently there's like already a remaster that's been done by the people. You know what I'm saying? The people, like the players.
The modders. The modders.
Yeah, so I went online, and I was like, I never played Star Wars Dark Forces.
I've never even heard of it.
It's Kyle Katarn. It's like the original, like it's like the Doom version of Star Wars. Like
it was like a first-person shooter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a first-person shooter.
This
the
is
first
before
one,
Jedi Academy, but
yes.
like the same storyline.
It's the prequel. Yeah, it's the original. It's number 1. So, but I've always played, and not even just Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast. I don't know if you've ever played Jedi Outcast.
That was like the third one, right, or the fourth one?
The third,
I
technically,
think because there was Dark Forces and then Dark Forces 2, and then
there
Jedi
was an expansion
Academy and Jedi Outcast.
No, so. It goes in this order. It goes Dark Forces because what I did, I ended up buying a collection of all these games and on Steam. So I got Star Wars Dark Forces, and I was like, I'm gonna just play through all of it because it's all. I was like, this should be fairly simple to play through, because I'm just waiting on Starfield right now. Like I need something to hold me
time
over.
Filler, yeah.
Yes, and I'm tired of playing RPGs because I know Starfield's about to come out, and that's all I want to play. So I was like, all right, no more Baldur's Gate, no more Persona for right now. I'll come back to these things, but until Starfield, I need something chill because Starfield's coming out in like 7 days or 8 days.
It's coming out even sooner if you pre-ordered it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like right
not
around.
just pre-order.
You got to
have
get the
special
edition.
Yeah.
I was gonna buy it. I was gonna break and just buy it, but then I saw that it was the premium edition. And
I was
like,
gonna
no.
do it too until PlayStation snuck that 100 on me today, and then I was like, all right.
I'm waiting. Yeah, Game Pass is.
We're just gonna Game Pass it.
We'll wait till the 6th.
I'm gonna play Baldur's Gate till then. Fucking.
So, anyways, I got Star Wars Dark Forces loaded up. Let me tell you what I got in my collection, though. It came with Star Wars Battlefront 2, like the old school one, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight Mysteries of the Sith, which is the expansion to Dark Forces 2. And then Republic Commando, Starfighter, the Clone Wars, Republic Heroes, The Force Unleashed Ultimate Sith Edition, The Force Unleashed 2, the Dark Forces, Knights of the Old Republic, then Empire at War, if you like RTS games, Empire at War, Forces of Corruption, and the Knights of the Old Republic 2. Came with a shit ton of stuff.
A lot of those are really good games.
Yes, very great.
Yeah.
And so I had never played Dark Forces. I hopped on there, immediately downloaded this whatever to make it better remaster pack mod, and it looks great. Like, first off, the game is great in general. It's like way better than Doom. Like, just in the fact that you can look up and down, you can like move around and like, but it still has that old Doom feel.
Yeah.
Like, and so it was actually made in their engine. Like, they made their own engine
They did a VR remake for this too, right? Like,
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they made like a VR version of this where you can like go through and it's like a first-person shooter. You're blasting stormtroopers and shit. Like.
Mm-hmm. It might be this one, but it was great. I played it all the way through because I wanted the story. I was like, where does Kyle Katarn actually come from? It's very interesting because he's kind of like Finn. Like, he was a
rogue stormtrooper.
He was like a stormtrooper, or he might not have been a stormtrooper, but he worked for the Sith. Like, he was like a mercenary basically, and then he switched over to help the rebellion. And then so you play through the whole first game as, working for the rebellion, and that's where the Dark Troopers come from that show up in the Mandalorian and all that stuff. Like, they originally first were created for this game, the Dark Troopers.
Wow.
Was this game ever on N64?
Yes, it did come to N64, but the sequel did not come to N64.
Okay,
it only came to PC.
Because a long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
No, I played a first-person Star Wars shooter.
This is probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
There aren't
but
that many of
I
them.
guess I never fucking read the name of it. But yeah.
So Dark Forces, yeah, and that was on N64. But then I played Dark Forces 2 after I finished that one. But I really liked the Dark Forces 2 was too in the middle of technologies where it was kind of way too ugly, and there's not like a good way to get it pretty it up. So I played through most of it, and then I just watched the rest of the cutscenes, which the cutscenes are like live action mixed. They're like FMV mixed
fun.
with like in-game stuff, which is horrible acting, but it's really cool to watch. And then and this one only came out on PC back in the day. So then I watched all the cutscenes for the expansion, which shows where Kyle goes to the dark side for like a little bit, and you play as his like protege, like his Jedi. What do they call him? I always forget. Apprentice. Yeah, you play as his apprentice through that one, and then you go and help him come back to the light side for a second because he like went to the Jedi Valley of the Jedi and like took in too much power, all this stuff. It was interesting. And then I'm playing Jedi Outcast. Let me tell you, Jedi Outcast is like the closest thing to a Dark Souls game, like before Dark Souls. Like, it is so good. Like, it holds up phenomenally. And like the only mods that I put in it were like full decapitation or like dismemberment, and then because like in the original game, even on GameCube, rated T, you can cut arms off, you can cut hands off and legs off, but you can't cut heads off. So all this did was make it to where you can cut people in half and cut their heads off, but I mean you have to. And it works. Like, it has the greatest lightsaber physics besides Obi-Wan on the original Xbox.
Oh, that one was really good.
This one's better than that. Like and I remember it being better, but you know, like it just feels good to go back to it, and it still feels good. You know, like you can just be walking, your lightsaber touches a wall, and it like leaves the mark as you're walking and stuff
really
like
cool,
that.
yeah.
You know, and it has all this extra stuff.
The first picture that shows up is you, what you just described.
Yeah, walking and touching the wall, and like, you know, and then you have all these like dark Jedi showing up that you can fight and stuff, and like you go through the Jedi temple to get your lightsaber back because you had like sworn yourself off from the Force after, you know, you almost went to the dark side. But then at the beginning, your buddy who's been there since the N64 game gets killed.
Oh shit!
And so you're like, oh well, fuck this, you know, and then you go back to the Valley of the Jedi and reconnect with the Force, and then you go and meet Luke. This is all based after the movies. Like, this is supposed to be what happens after the movies, not all the bullshit with Rey and all that stuff. So you meet Luke, and this stuff all used to be canon too. It sucks that it's not anymore, but except for the Dark Troopers, they just bring those back. But anyway, so. Anyways, you meet him, you go through all this stuff. It's like an RPG that's not an RPG. It's the weirdest thing. But I love this game so much, and I'm almost done with it. I'm pretty close to the end, and then I'm going to play Jedi Academy, hopefully before Starfield comes out. That's kind of my goal, and then just have played through all of them again. But they really hold up, and you can add blood and stuff too if you'd like, and like, you know, just whatever kind of mods you want to do. But
Hell yeah.
fun game. Anyways, that's it.
Oh, speaking of Star Wars stuff real quick, I completed another Mandalorian helmet.
You're going to have like a million of these things.
No. Dude, it takes a long time to finish one, but no, it's from my brother, and it's got horns coming off of it.
Man,
I
that's
saw
so
that.
cool.
That's cool.
It's for his Viking stuff. Yeah. Jamel's saying that. Brent, I'll show you after the show.
I thought you meant another one. That's why I was like, dude, you're going to have like
No.
so
Well,
many
I
of
hadn't
these.
talked to Brent in like 3 weeks, so
Yeah.
I'll show you a picture of it after the show.
Hell yeah.
But super proud of it.
Just like open a closet and a bunch of heads fall out. And it's like, oh, this is my Mandalorian closet. No, but anyways, so let's get into the video game news because we have quite a bit. Just so you guys know, we are using articles from gaming news sites from around the web. We do not claim any of these articles as our own. We're simply bringing them all to one place and giving it to you. Yeah,
So,
I don't know if we should say it like that.
Give it to you. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we should run through Gamescom stuff.
Yep.
You know?
You got it all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. Gamescom.
It was actually a pretty lame Gamescom this year.
Lamescom.
All right.
Got him.
So they started off with fucking, our boy Jeff Keighley on stage getting bum rushed as usual with some fucking crazy motherfucker
I
talking
heard
about
From some other
GTA
country.
6.
Like,
Yeah.
why is it always a dude from like a weird...
Always some weird dude from another country. And it
He's
almost
like, we
I'm not
need
gonna
GTA 6. Yeah.
He kind of looked like the dude from the last
Yep.
one. I'm actually starting to think maybe that's just some dude that fucking Jeff Keighley hires. To
No,
like,
that guy from the last one like got super famous on YouTube after that.
Really?
Yeah,
in so like the most random way.
yeah.
That's
He
probably
just
why this
shows
guy
up
is
at
doing it.
places.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna do this. Anyways, so after that, they did a Starfield live action trailer, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I was gonna say Jeff Keighley needs security, like
He
or
really
better
does,
security.
Yeah. Like the security that was there didn't give a shit.
They're
until,
just like, hey man, get off the stage. Nah, it's like, bro, you're getting tased, bro. Like if
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
working security and I get a chance to use my taser, I'm using it. You know what I'm saying? Like you give me a reason.
You guys are carrying tasers?
Our
Going
baton.
9mm. No.
shoot the guy. Jeff Keighley's like, gosh, hate it when that happens. Don't you just
walk
hate
up
to see it on
Just
this night
mop-
about gaming?
They're just
He's
mopping the
just
body
like,
up.
he's like, it goes up to the mic and just starts getting blasted, and then you just walk up on stage, and he's just like kind of twitching. You just shoot him one last time in the head.
Jeff Keighley's like, this
People
is a
are just
live
throwing
broadcast.
up. Like,
Jeff's like, oh, sorry, everybody.
security's really ramped up this year.
Oh, shit.
Anyways.
Wouldn't have to worry about anybody else rushing the stage. I'm just saying.
Not at all, dude. All right. Fucking A. That's why we did this over international water.
We're on a cruise ship, like just doing all the Gamescom.
Oh, shit.
Like the critics are flown in by helicopter and shit.
Just to prevent that fucking guy from coming back. Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
I got a shot.
Just in the helicopter, like so with the sniper.
Anyways, so yeah, they did a Rebel Moon teaser, which is like it was gonna be Star Wars at one point, but then they were like, never mind.
It was Zack Snyder. It's a Zack
Yeah.
Snyder movie, and he was gonna do a Star Wars film, but then they were like, "No, you can't do one."
Well, no,
It, like-
initially started out as a Star Wars film. I
Yeah,
heard.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
And then it got scrapped for
Yeah.
Star Wars, so he's like, "Fuck it, I'm
So
gonna
he pulled the
finish it."
Sleeping Dogs and was like, "All right, we're just gonna change the
Yeah.
name, do
It
a few things
really-
here." And
I don't see how it was a Star Wars film though. Like the
that's
teaser.
probably why they were like,
Yeah, the teaser looks really not Star Wars at all. Like everybody keeps saying, like, "Oh, it looks like a Star Wars," you know, like a knockoff. I'm like, no,
R-rated
it looks
Star Wars.
nothing like Star Wars at all.
I bet, honestly, I think the only thing that probably is Star Wars related, he probably built some sort of like fucking multi-million-dollar like spaceship practical
Well-
effect
Mhm.
and was like, ah, fuck, we
Okay.
gotta use this shit.
In the full trailer, there is a chick with lightsabers, though.
They're
Oh,
not
really?
lightsabers though. I know what you mean, but it's like she has like swords
They
that
probably were lightsabers.
They're-
They
at
probably
one
were.
point,
Now they're
you
just
know what I mean?
laser swords.
Yeah.
yeah, literally. Or it honestly doesn't look that good though. Like
No, it really doesn't.
I can't find anything about it where I'm like that. I want to watch this.
Apparently, they're making a video game out of it too, or something.
And it's gonna be a trilogy.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Tekken 8 got another trailer. They said it's launching on January 26, 2024. So beginning
Whoa.
of next year, we'll get some Tekken. We'll get to Tech all over the place.
I just want that panda. You know, and
Just want the Pandussy.
whoa,
Whoa.
I was just saying, like as a character in the game.
Oh man! Oh man!
that went dark.
Hey, you know, what can I say? Anyways,
God damn it!
Sonic Superstars comes out this October. So, you know, if you want
Whoa.
some 4-player co-op Sonic the Hedgehog action.
That sounds
Shut-
awful, dude.
It honestly was like the worst trailer I've ever seen for anything. Like, I like Sonic. I don't have a problem with Sonic games. It was just a very poorly made trailer.
I
will
don't
say
like
that.
Sonic 2D games. I'm gonna get like people will stab you for that, but like Sonic is best when it's 3D. I'm gonna be real. Everybody who likes 2D Sonic can suck it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel like Sonic's a lot like Mario. I'm cool with it
I'm
either
sorry,
way.
How
You
did
know?
how did Sonic start? Like,
What did
That's
Sonic do to
trash.
hurt you, dude?
Sonic started as a wannabe Mario,
Oh.
like, and then
Damn.
it was like
Sounds like
You could
somebody
say that
who can't
about
handle
every
the
other
speed. you
Se-
know?
Sega does what Nintendo don't, you know. But the thing is nobody wanted Nintendo to do that.
oh my God! Plenty of people loved Sonic. Get out of here! You fucking hater.
All right, moving on from the Sonic the Hate Hog over here.
The hate dog, dude. I like that, man.
We got gameplay improvements coming to Cyberpunk 2077. They listed a whole bunch of different stuff that's coming with the new
Liberty.
expansion pack or whatever.
What is it? Liberty.
Phantom Liberty.
Phantom Liberty. That's
And
it.
they said they're going to have a revamped police system. So this is the second time they've completely
Yeah, what the
redone
fuck?
the police system.
Good because it's still
Vehicle combat. So you're gonna have like guns in your car and be able to shoot out the window and stuff.
That's cool.
Better
modders have
combat
never
for
done
AI, a redesigned perk system, an increased level cap, and more. So that should be pretty cool. That's coming September 26th. So
Are
that's,
those updates going to come without the expansion? then?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, I saw in an article
It
like
says
that
update
stuff does.
2.0 will bring these new features to the base game on PC,
Okay,
PS5,
good.
Xbox Series X and S as well.
You just don't get the
Shit.
DLC.
Yeah. So let's see. We got another Alan Wake 2 trailer. This one had some gameplay and stuff. Looked pretty cool. I'm always a big Alan Wake fan, and I like Sam Lake a lot. Just the guy who does the
Looks
face
like
for
Max Payne.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just great, you know.
I just think he's neat.
I just think he's neat, you know. And I'm excited about Alan Wake. I think it's going to be pretty cool, especially after playing Control and like the DLC for Control. So yeah, I'm excited about that. That's coming October 27th. We got a launch date for that, which is not that far. Crazy enough. We got Little Nightmares 3 announced, which is pretty cool, and that's going to have 2-player co-op, unlike the first 2 Little Nightmares games. But also, it's being developed by Supermassive Games, who did the Until Dawn and all those games, which is kind of interesting to me because it's like, first of all, are they done doing all the Dark Pictures shit? You know what I mean? Have they just completely moved on? Because this is a totally different genre. You know what I mean?
I think they probably just got the contract to make this game, and then they were just like, all right, we're going to take a little break and make this, and then we'll go back over to the anthology.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they had to have been working on this game at the same time as the last one that came out.
I will say the trailer for this didn't look nearly as charming as the first 2 Little Nightmares games.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, in their creepy ass way. You know, they still had kind of a charm to them. You know what I mean? Whereas this game kind of just looked like dirty, you know, which is I'm sure that's what they were going for, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't have.
But you
that,
got to
like,
keep the charm.
It didn't have that charm. So we'll see. You know. Let's see. Black Myth Wukong finally reappeared with a new trailer.
Is that the monkey game?
That's the monkey game. Yeah. Killing Floor 3 was announced with a new trailer, so that's pretty cool.
I had some fun with Killing Floor 2.
Killing Floor 2 is just a good time,
just
you
a
know?
good arcade
it's just
shooter.
a good time. And this one's going to have Unreal 5, so that should be pretty nice
yeah.
to look at, you know what I mean?
Nice.
Let's see. We got Age of Empires 4 is now available for Xbox Series X and S.
Game Pass, I think.
I think so, too. Crimson Desert got a fresh gameplay trailer. That one looked kind of interesting.
Isn't that game already out? No, that's Black Desert.
Yeah. Crimson
I
Desert.
keep getting them mixed up.
It looked like Final Fantasy kind of, but with like some parts of it looked really cool. Like the graphics look really good, and like the water effects and stuff. And then some parts just looked kind of like janky. I don't know. It's a mixed bag for me on that one. Assassin's Creed Mirage got a new trailer, which at this point we kind of already know what the fuck is going on with that game. You know.
It's like Sonic 2D.
It's like, just stop giving us trailers. we get it, yeah. Let's see. Ice-T showed off a special Payday 3 heist he's part
thanks.
of. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Ice-T. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 got an extended gameplay-focused trailer on one of its story missions.
Was that the one that showed like the open mission stuff? Dude, that kind of looks cool.
It does look pretty cool. It looks more interesting than your typical Call of Duty campaign. You know what I mean?
You can like
Call of Duty's pulling a Halo.
Kind of. It's open missions.
More like what's it? Dishonored or no?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like Dishonored. Like you have like a big open like map, but it's not an open world game. It's just like you can approach each thing however you want to do
Hitman
it.
Hitman or something, where you have an
okay.
objective, but you just have to like figure out how you want to like.
They're also introducing like big map zombies too.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not introducing because Cold War.
That's already been there.
Yeah, Cold War did something like
but
that.
it still should be pretty cool.
But this one looked cool because there's vehicles and stuff. They showed like he basically had to destroy this like helicopter, and he just like stuck a charge on a 4-wheeler and then like drove the 4-wheeler off a ramp towards the helicopter and then hit the button. It looks like they're kind of going Battlefield with it.
I was just about to say that's a very Battlefield move.
Except for it looks like really good though. Like it has that Call of Duty like finish
quality,
to it. You know what I'm saying? Like to their campaigns, not like their multiplayer. Like you know how their campaigns always look like so slick and like it just looks like that, but like
it did look really nice. Like I mean, obviously the graphics are gonna be looking good on everything these days, but like it just.
I don't even know if it's getting an engine update. I think it's just.
It is, yeah.
Is it an update? I tried to look up what engine it was going to be running on, and couldn't find anything to it. It's just all it's that I could find was that they're using Infinity Ward's engine. And whether it's an update from Modern Warfare 2, I could not find.
It's supposed to be an update, including like updating features, like they're bringing back the red dot, like on the compass, like whenever somebody shoots, if they don't have a suppressor and all that stuff. They're bringing back all the stuff that they got rid of whenever Modern Warfare 2 left or came out.
Okay, let's see. Moving on. They said Nightingale hits early access on Steam and Epic Game Store February 22nd, 2024. I'm pretty sure that's that like survival fantasy looking game. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink will now launch February 1st, 2024. Immortals of Avium is out today, which was, a few days ago. So
I saw some gameplay on that. It looks interesting.
Yeah, I've seen some reviews. It doesn't. I mean, it does look interesting.
It's really shiny.
Yeah. Zenless Zone Zero got a new trailer.
Say that 5 times.
Right. Honkai Star Rail will hold a PS5 tech test on August 23rd.
Of course.
We got a trailer showing off new Genshin Impact content. Lords of the Fallen got a new story-focused trailer. Sonic Frontiers free Final Horizon update launches September 28th.
Wait, what? Hold on. Re-say that again. Sonic Frontiers free Horizon Zero?
Final Horizon update is what it is.
What the fuck is that? Is that like the DLC or something?
It's like free DLC.
Oh, okay.
The Final Horizon update.
I thought it was like like they were doing something with Horizon Zero Dawn or something. And I was like, what the fuck?
No, I don't think it has anything in it. Let's see. The First Descendant got a cinematic trailer ahead of its beta. Quantic Dream published Indie Under the Waves received a launch trailer. Multiple Xbox Game Pass sizzle reels show off upcoming day one releases.
What do they got?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Oh, that's lame.
Sorry. I think it's probably mostly stuff we've talked about.
Like Starfield and stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Troy Baker, Roger Clark, and Julia Brown came on stage to discuss Fort Solace, which is available now. Saber Interactive and Focus Entertainment announced Expeditions, a successor to SnowRunner and Mudrunner, which looked fucking horrible, dude. That shit looks like fucking what's that game where you're Norman Reedus and you're going across the fucking
Death Stranding.
It looked like Death Stranding without a fucking cool story. Like just literally just like Death Stranding minus the fucking story. Like
you just in cars?
You're in like a Jeep and you're trying to like take shit across the fucking you're in cars, you're in like it's basically Death Stranding. I mean, you're literally just trying to get something from point A to point B across rough terrain. Like that's the whole game. Like, but minus all the cool monsters and shit from Death Stranding and the weird babies and stuff. Fucking just like Jeeps and shit. Anyways, so that's happening. Crew Motorfest received a new trailer, and there will be a 5-hour free trial ahead of launch, which is, to me actually speaks a lot to like the confidence of the developers. I feel like if you're giving me a 5-hour free trial, you feel pretty good about like the state of your game, and like that if people play for 5 hours that they'll actually buy it. You know what I mean? So like that's a power move to me if you're a developer. You know what I'm saying? Like
that, and also helps people like discover their game aside from Forza Horizon.
Yeah, totally.
Because like I wouldn't, I definitely would not buy a crew game just because of Forza Horizon.
Yeah, but maybe after
if
you
I
played
had a
it
demo,
for a little bit for free,
to see what it was about, and if
Yeah. So I
think it's a good move.
I think it's a good move, and I think it's it's a good way to get people playing. Let's see. Stormgate got a new trailer that showed off a new faction. Last Epoch Runes of Power got a new trailer. I don't know what any of these games are, so don't even ask me. Marvel Snap, I don't know. Marvel Snap has exited early access on PC. Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon got a new trailer ahead of its release later this week. So that's
already out.
This was back then.
Old news.
Old news.
Yeah.
But that did happen at Gamescom. Nexon released a new cinematic trailer for Warhaven. Mortal Kombat 1 got a new trailer revealing Shao Kahn and Sindel as new fighters, and Shujinko and Motaro, oh my god,
of course,
as cameos. Ara Histories Untold got a new trailer. Diablo 4 Season of Blood received a new teaser trailer ahead of its release.
It's like the vampire class.
Yes, and Dustborn was revealed with an early 2024 release window. Publisher Panic revealed, "Thank you goodness you're here." And then, let's see. Oh my god, there's a bunch of pre-show announcements that aren't very important either.
Yeah, don't worry about any of that.
But, the most important pre-show announcement to me is that 7th Guest VR comes out on October 19th. So that's kind of interesting. I don't think anybody cares about Seventh Guest VR except for me. But that was one of those games I played a lot as a kid with my grandmother. Fucking, it's one of those old school FMV games.
Puzzle.
Kind of, it's like Myst, but less like it's less
Intensive.
hard and fucking more just like creepy. Like it's meant to be kind of a scary game, but it's the old school as fuck, so it's not very scary.
Yeah. So I don't know if this was part of the situation. I know Phil Spencer got like interviewed or whatever. I don't know if this was at Gamescom, but apparently the Xbox Series S version of hit role-playing game Baldur's Gate 3. Oh wait, hold on. Let me go ahead and hold on. I messed that up. Here it is. Here's what happened. Larian Studios has announced that it's found a way to bring Baldur's Gate 3 to Xbox Series X and S players, and that the game will still be able to make it onto the platform this year. Quote, super happy to confirm that after meeting Phil Spencer yesterday, we found a solution that allows us to bring Baldur's Gate 3 to Xbox players this year still. Something we've been working towards for quite some time, explained Larian founder Sven Vinke. He went on to explain the solution. Xbox Series X consoles will have the split screen feature, while it won't be available on Xbox Series S. However, all of the hot fixes and improvements implemented so far will be in the Xbox version. Additionally, there will be cross-save between the Steam and Xbox Series versions and PlayStation 5. So, weird thing about this, it's making me think that Xbox is like, fuck this parody thing that we said.
That's what I'm saying. Like they can't. Like you can't do it. Like you just can't. Like and expect all the games to come to both consoles.
To be perfect.
You know what I mean?
But also, it's weird that it seems like this happened to Halo. It's the split screen. What's wrong with the split screen? Like,
because
why can't
you're
they
essentially running the game twice? You know what I mean?
Two instances.
It's running.
Yeah, but they can do it on Steam Deck. They can do it on.
You can't.
You can't. Yes,
I
you
mean,
can.
no, you can't. It's disabled on Steam Deck. You can't do split screen on Steam
Oh, I
Deck.
thought it was on there.
No.
Okay, so basically, I still don't understand how they can't do it. Like, because there's shittier PCs that can do it. You know, it's like there's got to be something like fucked up about the Series S.
I don't think most PCs could like, because it really is like running. You can have one person way over here in a different like area of the map and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think if you were, because like I can't imagine it doing well on a normal like PC. 1060 or something. You know what I mean? Like,
well, no. So Larian previously said it had issues developing the Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3 due to the Xbox Series S's hardware, and specifically that the studio was struggling to get split-screen co-op to run on it. Microsoft even sent engineers to work with Larian on resolving the problem, too. The Xbox's Phil Spencer has also insisted that games run on both Xbox Series X and S consoles, and that Microsoft will learn from the situation surrounding Baldur's Gate 3. It's one of the biggest games of the year, and Microsoft certainly didn't want to miss out on it, giving PlayStation a de facto console exclusive for such a monumental release.
I am glad they kind of eased up on their whole parody bullshit for the sake of Xbox
just
players.
Getting it out.
Yeah, I mean, like, why punish all the Series X players that dished out the extra money and have the power to play games like this, because you have a different console.
Just
you know
say
what I mean?
it like this is what they ended up saying. So the Xbox Series S version of the hit role playing game Baldur's Gate 3 won't have split screen when it launches later this year, but that's not to say it won't receive the feature after launch. A message on the official Xbox Twitter account gave Series S players hope. Quote, to answer some questions we'll continue to work with Larian to explore the addition of split screen on Series S post-launch.
I'm telling you now, they're not getting split screen on Series S.
So,
like, it's going the route of Halo. Like, you will not see split screen on Series S.
Oh, I can see that.
But I'm telling you right now, also, that is not even close to a deal breaker. Like, that is, like, one of the biggest non-issues. Like, I mean, yeah, it sucks. But at the same time, if you have another friend with an Xbox, you guys can still play multiplayer. You know what I mean? Like, just because you can't sit in the same room, like, yeah, I mean.
But also, this makes it to where I feel like Phil Spencer now has to go, all right, guys, you can put split screen on the Series X, like, for Halo. Like, I feel like Halo Infinite didn't have split screen because of the same thing.
Yeah.
And they were just like, fuck it, we're just not going to do split screen in the long run. It's like, no, just add it to the Series X. If you want split screen, pay more. You know, like just.
I agree 100%. I think that's what should be happening, and it's still like it's not like you're not getting the game on Series S. Like
No.
it's still there.
It's just like buying a PS4 Pro or like a PS4. You're gonna get more shit on the Pro than you will on the fucking PS4 or like the Xbox. What was it, the One X or whatever, versus the original Xbox One. Xbox One X is gonna have way better performance. Probably has more stuff you can do. It's like why?
It kind of comes down to like another thing. It's like. This is another reason why I don't think Xbox would ever put out a VR this generation, because the Series X would be able to do it fine, but then the fucking Series S wouldn't, and then they wouldn't have that parity there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
they really need to walk back the parity.
A lot of what I'm finding online is saying that it's mainly due to CPU and RAM. Like shittier PCs and whatnot cannot it lets you try to run it in split screen, but it just goes crazy. Yeah,
interesting.
It goes crazy. Is what I'm seeing on different Reddit posts and stuff. I couldn't find exact minimum specs. Any like official posting for split screen.
The N64, how they shipped out the little expansion cartridge with fucking Donkey Kong. They need one of those.
A mod, yeah, like or like be able to change the RAM out or something. Like, but
I am surprised they can't just put it in potato mode. Like, I mean, put that bitch on like 720 or something. Like, who cares? Make it look muddy as fuck. Like, as long as it works.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I really hope because of this, they're like, well, we already did we already fucked it up and, stop the parody thing for this one game.
Yeah.
Going forward, like, what are they going to tell all the developers going forward, like, that are trying to make games for the Xbox? Like,
there's probably already so many developers trying to dumb their games down to, like,
for
the
Series S.
Yeah.
It's like, just take away non-important features from the S.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
And that was kind of a power move on Baldur's Gate's part too, though. To just say fuck it, we're not going to compromise on our game. We're going to come to PS5, and if you guys don't want to come to terms with that, and then Xbox did, because they're not going to miss out on like one of the biggest games of the year just because some shit that they said. Like that's.
Well, technically, it's the other way around. They were willing to compromise. They were like, we will just take split screen off. They don't need split screen. And Xbox was like, no, they got to both have it. And like, so they were willing to be like, look, it's not that important. Like, like, and that's where I find it is very, like, it's cool of them, because they were like, the game's fine with or without it.
Yeah.
Like, that's just an addition.
I haven't used split screen once the whole time I've been playing it, but I know lots of people that have. You know what I mean? Like, and it is a cool feature. You know what I mean? Like,
but how many people sit there and play split screen nowadays? Like, unless it's like a Switch game and you're playing Smash Bros.
You'd have to have like homies that came over regularly. But I think the idea is that it's
Nobody
so much.
hangs out in person anymore.
I think the idea is that it's so much like D&D that you could have an in-person D&D night with it. You know what I mean?
How many split screen or how many people can you do split screen?
Just two.
I think two.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's I mean, like, but
even then, like,
yeah, I don't know. I just find it cool that Larian was able to be like, fuck y'all's parody thing. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Phil Spencer was like, you know what, you're probably right. Like, I really hope Phil Spencer learned from this and does not stick to the parody clause thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
so at Gamescom 2023, we also got an announcement from AMD. The AMD announced...
This is actually great shit right here.
AMD announced a new pair of desktop graphics cards for its Radeon RX 7000 series, designed for those looking to build a PC capable of running games at 1440p resolution.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about FSR3, which is actually the great shit.
I don't see anything about FSR3.
Let me
just the specs. Well, hold on. Let me get my article out of the way. God damn it. So the AMD Radeon RX 7800 XT features 16 gigabytes of GDR6
Boo. No, I'm just kidding.
a total board power of 263 watts, and 60 unified RDNA 3 computer units.
What is this, Series S? What is that? Like,
fucking. So it doesn't give a comparison for that one, but it says, oh yeah, it does. So it's the AMD claims that the Radeon RX 7800 XT can outperform NVIDIA's RTX 4070 in games such as
Series
Cyberpunk,
S. No, I'm just kidding.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor, etc.
Let's see it fucking outperform the 4070 with fucking ray tracing overdrive mode on, bitch. Like, I doubt it.
It like quickly mentions FSR3, but doesn't really go
What's
into
it say?
detail. says AMD also took the time to share some new details on the third generation of Fidelity FX Super Resolution FSR.
Does it say how much? Oh, I'm sorry.
According to AMD, FSR 3 will introduce a new native anti-aliasing mode. No release date yet, but AMD says
that is like the
FSR 3
least
is coming
exciting
soon.
thing about FSR 3.
What is it?
It's fucking AMD's answer to fucking DLSS 3. It's frame generation. It's fucking software accelerated frame generation. So if your game can support it, like the developer of the game can implement it, then fucking any GPU should be able to do this. So you should be able to use frame generation for but at the same time, it's not perfect yet, I don't think, according to AMD.
I'm sure it's better than running 10 frames.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, how much did they say the new cards are going to cost? Does it mention it?
No pricing has been shared yet.
Yeah.
So
interesting stuff.
And I mean, you also have to count on those developers, putting FSR into their games when DLSS is going to be the much more popular option.
Yeah.
I wonder if they can do both.
Well,
¿Por qué no dos?
I think a lot of things. This will affect a lot of things. Okay, first of all, FSR directly affects the modern console market because both modern consoles use fucking FSR compatible fucking graphics cards.
Yeah, they're both AMD.
Yeah, and we're currently using FSR2 in a lot of modern console games. You know what I'm saying? So it's not out of the question for FSR3 to be implemented in console games in the future. But also, Steam Deck has a native, built into the console FSR solution, which I'm assuming will get updated with the release of FSR3. So that's kind of interesting. You know what I mean?
What graphics processor does the Steam Deck run on?
It has an RDNA processor the modern consoles.
So we could see a lot of implementation then, especially between the consoles and Steam Deck. I
really
feel like
think
that would drive. Yeah, that would definitely drive.
Every time I hear something about a new implementation of FSR, I get excited because the difference between FSR 1 and FSR 2 is staggering. You know what I mean? FSR 1 sucked ass, and FSR 2 is comparable to DLSS. You know what I mean? But at the same time, NVIDIA just announced fucking DLSS 3.5. There, I'll read the article on this one. It says NVIDIA said it has trained its DLSS 3.5 ray reconstruction model on 5 times as much data as the base DLSS 3 suite, which should hopefully produce some fine results. So this is coming out with Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, and it's gonna it's made to improve ray tracing with the reconstruction. So normal reconstruction, it does the same thing as DLSS 3, but your 2080 will be able to do this. So if you have the older graphics cards, you'll be able to do the ray reconstruction with 3.5, but you won't be able to do the frame generation from 3. So you'll get an update even if you don't have one of the newer graphics cards, which is pretty cool.
Wait, which DLSS is the 40 series running?
The 40 series is running the newest one, the DLSS 3 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. DLSS 3 is just frame generation. Other than that, it's not any different really than normal DLSS 2. You know what I mean? And honestly, frame generation is a little wonky right now. So y'all aren't really missing out on that much.
DLSS has been kind of 50-50 on the games that I've used it on.
Really?
Yeah. So
I use it on almost every game. I actually find that DLSS quality mode sometimes gives you a better picture than fucking the normal, un-DLSS'd picture. I have also noticed that there's one called Deep Learning Anti-Aliasing, which is the opposite of
Deep Learning Super Sampling?
Yeah, it's it takes a higher resolution picture and downscales it. So if you've got a mega graphics card and the game isn't that demanding, you can use DLAA and make it look fucking just crazy.
Fucking technology.
Yeah.
AI. No, so Rockstar Games Vice President of Writing Mike Unsworth has reportedly left the Grand Theft Auto 6 developer after 16 years. Unsworth's LinkedIn profile was updated to indicate the veteran developer had left Rockstar. Quote, Mike is an accomplished writer who spent over 16 years working for Rockstar Games as a creative lead on some of the most critically acclaimed and commercially successful video game franchises of all time, most notably Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, his profile states. Unsworth has credit on most of the Rockstar big hits, including Red Dead Redemption 2, Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, Max Payne 3, and L.A. Noire.
Those are all like the best story games too. Like,
yeah. Well, remember the brother left like a year ago, so this is the other like lead writer here. Unsworth joined Rockstar as a senior creative writer in 2007 before stepping up as writer director in 2019. He then served 2 years as VP of writing before his apparent departure.
Wonder what the dealio is.
But like, man, we've had this game developed for like 7 years, but they want to keep milking 5. Like, I'm out of here.
Right.
Well, remember they said that they're kind of going for that. Like with 6, they want to hit they want to jump out at the gate with like the GTA 5 online type shit, but with 6, like just ready to go.
I mean, that's real. You know,
so
that's
maybe
the
they
one
sacrifice
problem with
story
GTA 5 online is like when it came out originally, it was like super bare bones and basic. Like it was almost just like a tacked on feature, you know what I mean? And
it was a tacked on feature.
And then it became super fucking popular, you know, over time. So it does make sense for them. And also that was the big problem with Red Dead Online is like when it came out, it was very fucking bare bones, you know?
Except it still is now.
I
yeah,
think
they never fixed that.
it never took off because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they never added to it like they did
never get
GTA 5.
they didn't ever get a player base that like was worth like updating the servers for because it's like, you know, we have like 5 people playing. Why are we gonna fucking put all this money into it? You know what I mean?
So there's no cars. People like cars and like fancy stuff.
Well, the houses and stuff and the properties.
Yeah.
But like when it first launched,
you get a horse.
Well, when it first launched, like Red Dead,
Yes.
the first Red Dead Online did pretty good. Like there was a lot, you know, a lot of people played that, including
You
myself.
talking about Red Dead 1?
Yeah, Red Dead 1 Online.
But that was more like PvP, like combat and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like
One, so I mean, the 2 could be that as well, but we all had the expectations from GTA Online.
yeah.
And they didn't do any of it. They didn't do any of it in Red Dead Online. Like we thought for sure we were going to be able to get a property
Yeah.
or a ranch.
That's
or
where they could have done the zombies thing too, like the Red Dead
Undead.
the Undead
Dude,
Nightmare.
They could have did so much shit. You could have had like people doing different roles in that, just having a ranch and a homestead and like fucking,
It would have been
taking
sweet
care
as
of that,
fuck, yeah.
or going out and being a gunslinger and robbing trains and shit, or being police force or some shit. They
Big
could have
missed
done a lot. Yeah,
opportunity,
they could have
yeah.
done a fucking lot, and they really let the community down. Because I was part of that GTA or Red Dead Online community that really wanted it to take off.
It is weird how much detail they put into their single player worlds and then how bare the fucking same world feels in multiplayer mode. It's like you'd think they would put at least half that effort into like the multiplayer mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think the reason that Red Dead Online just got kind of just put on the back burner was because GTA Online was really
just doing too well.
doing insanely
Yeah,
well.
and
And
if
so
you're
they're
gonna
like, why
play
the
one or
fuck
the
put our
other-
resources? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
No need to split.
Dude, a lot of Red Dead fans are still to this day butthurt about that, and myself included. Like,
Yeah.
it could have been good, but
It
they
really could have
they
been.
didn't put their resources in it.
What you got, Devin?
Oh shit, it's me, huh? So we got word from Mr. Todd Howard. He confirmed that Starfield is going to have a new game plus.
Yeah, right when it drops, New Game Plus will be a thing.
Yeah, and then some controversy over Starfield.
Always.
About what?
So there was a leaker. A guy leaked the entire everything about Starfield.
Yeah,
So
he
be
leaked
careful.
the first 40 minutes.
Oh, right. Yeah, the guy that got arrested, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the man who leaked the first 40 minutes or so of Bethesda's highly anticipated RPG Starfield was arrested yesterday, but not for leaking spoilers, but because of his theft of the game. And I think he also tried to sell.
He did sell. He sold over $2,000 worth of copies on Mercury.
Well, where the fuck was
He stole them. He apparently I guess he lifted a truck or something to get all these because he had the physical edition.
We had physical copies.
Yeah, and he was selling them.
Wow, okay.
And then also leaked it. Made a video of himself with his phone
What an idiot, bro.
Criminals aren't always the smartest, But just think if they, a lot of these crimes, like that. If you're going to be committing a crime, don't go fucking posting it about.
Yeah.
But then how are you gonna just like get your clout? I think that's what he wanted was the clout from it. Like read it. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
As first reported by Kotaku, 29-year-old Darren Harris was
He's almost
booked,
30.
Yeah,
Goodness.
was booked yesterday in Shelby County, Tennessee, on a felony charge of theft of
he's from
property
Tennessee,
costing
then.
$2,500 to $10,000. A misdemeanor charge of theft of property $1,000 or less, and another misdemeanor charge of possession of marijuana, per information on the Shelby County Sheriff's Office website. IGN has obtained the incident report of the arrest, which lists the stolen property as video game Microsoft Starfield unreleased game. Unquote.
This is evidence.
They hold up a copy.
Just go straight into the back room to start playing.
We need to break into that fucking damn it.
The evidence room.
Evidence room, yeah. I completely blanked on the evidence. But Todd Howard, no, wait, what? Oh, he posted, yeah, so he did, after some leveled criticism at Harris for how he played the game, as much of the footage involved him struggling to grasp the mechanics. He posted up a follow-up video. Quote, Todd, no offense, man. That's a good game. End quote. He said at the time, quote, perfect timing about leaving the earth and all that. It's good stuff. Pretty swell. Good moves.
Obviously, the guy is not the smartest. Like he's like tweeting at Todd Howard with the game he stole. That he didn't even have anything to record the game with other than his phone. So he recorded his TV with his phone.
Look, man, he had to sell a couple copies of the game before he could get the money to do that.
I think he said pretty swell.
Then after leaking,
pretty swell, good moves. They were saying I play like a beginner because I'm not a game expert. I was just trying something out. That's a good game. Y'all don't want to miss it. Starfield for real.
I like how he's like, yo, great game.
It's good publicity.
Good publicity.
And at least he's like, yeah, I'm not too good at it. I'm not a game expert, but go get that shit. Like,
he sounds like the most like he sounds like a lot of people that I like knew growing up. Like, who would just like steal shit. They're just it's just like dumb, but like they mean good.
Harris's YouTube and other social media accounts have since been scrubbed of their previous videos, but according to Kotaku, Harris took things further as he began trying to sell copies of Starfield, including the $300 Constellation edition on Mercari. So yeah,
nice. I wonder, if he's gonna have to use that money to pay off his bill, or like if he's gonna, come out. Did they take all of his games? Does he still have Starfield? Anyway, what was that?
Oh, they said I do not speak English.
Oh,
we don't either. No worries.
Anyways,
I'm sorry, we don't speak any other languages. Languages.
We barely speak English.
Yeah. Paquito? No.
Yo hablo poquito español.
Let's see here. It's me, right?
No, it's Brent.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, yeah, it's Brent.
Sony has officially announced the name and price of its upcoming Project Q handheld streaming device for PS5 games. The system is called PlayStation Portal, and it will cost $200. So yeah.
Boo.
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 I like how they're still in the PSP name, like to ruin it with this piece of shit. Just put out a PSP.
Well, yeah,
PlayStation
that is damn
Portal.
close, but it's portable.
Well, they just took out the fun part. And just call it a portal.
Yeah, you need a fucking PlayStation 5 to use this device.
To
Not
stream
only that,
it.
but like you have to be in the same house as your PS5.
Oh,
like,
really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
No, I think you can like as long as your PS5 is on or whatever.
They said it's made to be used in like the bed or like the fucking other room.
Yeah,
Like,
guess what else I can play in bed? A fucking console.
Or a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Or a Switch.
You can literally hook your Steam Deck up to your PS5 and use it the exact same way.
Get your shit together, PlayStation.
You might as well just drop the extra $100 and.
Yeah,
not drop an cumulative $700 to get a PlayStation 5 and this fucking useless device.
We got some more. There's a lot of Starfield this week because it's coming out next week. So Bethesda head of publishing Pete Hines has said Starfield, quote, doesn't even really get going until after the main story mission is completed. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, what?
During an appearance on Bethesda Mainstream at Gamescom 2023, Hines explained he had sunk roughly 80 hours into Starfield's faction-based quest lines and other side activities before being prompted by Bethesda head Todd Howard to get started on the main story. Quote, we intentionally don't talk about the main quest a lot because truthfully, it is super spoilery, said Hines. But I'm here to tell you that this game doesn't even really get going until you finish the main quest. Now, I guess he's saying there's so much extra shit to do. Hines noted the main quest took him around 50 hours to complete, which means that by his own reckoning, Starfield didn't really get going for the Bethesda veteran until he had sunk 130 hours into the game. And that quote, that story, it's my favorite Bethesda Game Studios story, said Hines. It's my favorite Bethesda Game Studios ending to a story, and I hope people enjoy it as much as I have.
Good.
But
I'm gonna drop so many hours in this game.
Apparently, a lot of people have been playing the game. A lot of people
just suck ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like, yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Terrible.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Nothing.
No.
The game doesn't even really get going until you turn it off. You know.
It just never gets going.
I need y'all to shut up because I've been waiting since a wee child for a game like this. Like No Man's Sky kind of itch that.
I think this is gonna be the one, bro.
Well, a lot of people are saying like they're like trying not to spoil it, but a lot of people have been saying like this is the least buggiest Bethesda game they've ever played.
Oh, thank God.
So that's good news.
I don't give a shit. It could be super buggy. Like we could have fucking like New Vegas levels of bugs. You know what I mean?
It's just got to be fun.
I want fun. Yeah. You can seriously fucking crash the game every fucking 45 minutes. I don't give a fuck. But like I need it to be extremely fun.
I really hope it's fun. I really do. Everybody like seems to be saying it's great, like hinting at it, but they can't say it because there's embargoes, you know. Yeah. So, but everybody's like talking, like the way that everybody's talking about it. It's like, okay, this is gonna be a good game. But
if I can have a bunch of fun with No Man's Sky, I'm gonna have a fucking blast with this game.
Hopefully,
right? I get to live out my space traveler fantasies in this game to a higher degree than in No Man's Sky, where I can go and take over people's ships.
I'm thinking this is gonna be way more like Outer Worlds than No Man's Sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
no.
I'm thinking it's gonna be a mix of No Man's Sky and Outer Worlds, like together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah,
because you can collect resources.
It'll be a fleshed out No Man's. It's what everybody wanted with No Man's Sky. It seems like from everything that I've seen. It's
except for the multiplayer part. There's no multiplayer.
Well, yeah.
So
but there also wasn't multiplayer when No Man's Sky came out. Either. Yeah. And the multiplayer is jank as shit, even still.
Brent or Devin?
Is it?
I think it's me. Let's see.
No, did you just? Yeah, you just read one. It's me.
It's Devin. Yeah.
The MetaQuest 3 is already out in the wild.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Right.
That's not surprising. They're coming out pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I would hope that there's dev kits, I can't fucking talk today. I don't know what's going on. So Meta announced in June that it was working on the MetaQuest 3 with more info, including a release date coming this fall. But someone has already gotten their hands on Meta's next standalone VR headset. A user posted a video on the social media platform X, like Twitter. The brief video shows the Quest 3 packaged inside a bland brown box with the Meta logo and Quest 3 printed on the front of the box. The user then shows off the headset and controls, which look like it did when Meta announced the Quest 3 at its last digital event. The box looks a bit bland, but it is packaging, and there is no confirmation as to whether or not that is the final packaging for the Quest 3.
Well, the Quest 2 package was bland as shit.
Yeah, it was just a sleeve that had and then it was just a brown box.
Compared to the Quest 1, actually had awesome packaging. Really? The Quest 1 was like beautifully fucking presented whenever I bought it. Like,
I don't give a fuck what kind of packaging it comes in. Just give me the device.
No, I mean, like, I feel like as the devices get better, like, the packages
goes
get
on the
shittier
wayside.
and shittier, you know what I mean?
Because it doesn't need as crazy of a presentation.
Yeah,
like
well, in the Quest 1, they were really trying to, like, just push the Quest as a fucking device and, like, get people on board with it and shit. Yeah. So I think they really wanted to, like, leave a good taste in your mouth from the beginning to the end, which they did. I really like the Quest 1 as a device, But I am hyped for the Quest 3, and honestly, if PSVR 2 doesn't start putting out some new shit, fucking, I'm going to have to get a Quest 3 just to have an ecosystem of games that actually fucking keeps expanding. You know what I mean? Because PSVR 2 has been out for a long fucking time at this point, and, like, we had a good, like, opening there with Gran Turismo and fucking Resident Evil and shit. But there hasn't been shit. Horizon was kind of trash, dude. Honestly,
but it was there. That's all I'm saying. There was a game.
Yeah, but it was way overpriced, and it's just a.
And Resident Evil.
Resident Evil was awesome. Okay, yeah. I just have a big problem with Horizon. Like, that game was fucking just just your typical fucking VR
experience.
Yes, exactly.
Have you ever wanted to climb?
For
Get
7
ready
hours.
for climbing. Speaking of which, speaking of VR, I thought I should mention this. I've never seen this actually before in real life, but the other day I was driving home and I came in through the back entrance, and we have like a dog park and like a little like walk around area, and there's like a little open field type thing.
Somebody was playing Quest in the field.
Yeah, somebody was like out there exercising with their Quest on. Like
It's a good exercise,
like out
man.
outside. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get robbed, but cool. You know,
That's why I don't do it outside. The only time I've ever done that outside, I was exercising, getting my, doing my thing, getting my exercise in. Fucking randomly, I feel like a tap on my shoulder. I take off the headset, and there's just like this fucking creepy fucking, like transient fellow. You know what I mean? And it was very eye opening. I'm like, anybody could sneak up on me.
Yeah,
here, you know what I mean?
he could have just stabbed you, and you wouldn't have you wouldn't have even known it was coming.
You're deaf and blind to the outside world.
I usually only do it whenever when my girlfriend is around. Like, we'll go to the tennis court in my neighborhood, and she'll like rollerblade around the tennis court, and like I feel safer then because it's like
Brent's just there in the
punching the tennis balls. But like
there is something to being outside though, because you don't have to worry about running into anything or fucking you can just.
I did find that the Guardian has a little bit of trouble if it's too sunny.
Too sunny, yeah.
Yep.
The sunlight, it can affect it for sure.
Yeah, the sensors
This
don't.
is why we need a super pass through AR video games, like just next level.
Actually, like the best way to play outside, and this is gonna sound crazy, but is to play at nighttime when it's pitch black. You have to get
really trying to get robbed.
No, I'm serious. You have to get infrared lights, which is you can buy them on Amazon for really cheap. But like they're infrared lights, they don't show like when you turn them on, like you don't see any physical light. But like when you have the Quest on, it sees the infrared light and fucking it can see the controllers and everything as long as you got the IR lights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, again, pretty cheap on Amazon. So if you're a Questie that likes to play outside,
Questie.
Questie.
But no, I am definitely getting the Quest 3. It's supposed to be coming out this fall, right? But
I think so. Yeah.
I'm really doubting that with the lack of like what we've.
I
We've
think
got like a whole conversation happening up there. I'm sorry.
I think if I do get the Quest 3, which I probably will, I'll probably just make my Quest 2 like my exercise device, so I don't get my Quest 3 all gross and sweaty. You know what I mean?
Do some boxing.
Yeah, that'll be my exercising one, and then my playing games one will be the 3.
Yeah, for sure. While he's checking that, actually it's Brent. Never mind. I thought it was gonna be Devin.
All right. Half-Life 2 is getting the RTX treatment with a new community-made remaster that will add full ray tracing to the classic first-person shooter.
Nice.
As part of a new reveal from NVIDIA showing off AI-enhanced real-time ray tracing using DLSS 3.5, Half-Life 2 RTX and RTX Remix project was announced. So this is like the second or third game that they've done like this since they announced
like
the RTX
Portal.
Remix thing. Yeah. So this should have all new textures throughout the whole game and like full path traced ray tracing and stuff. So that should be pretty cool.
Nice. And then you can look like you're in an abandoned Kato's, just like in fucking Portal, but in Half-Life this time.
I'm sorry, Gene Connie. We've been talking for a while, and I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to. But Gene Connie was talking about how they prefer Castlevania for the use of multiple powers and stuff. But I'm not sure in regards to what conversation that was.
I think he's the one who doesn't speak English well, right?
Yeah,
he's probably just trying to get in the combo with the games.
We appreciate it, but yeah, I'm sorry. Our chat setup is not the best, and we can't see it in real time, and sometimes it goes on the wayside.
Sorry about
apologies.
that. Yeah, but definitely shout out to what's his name?
Gene Connie.
Gene Connie.
Gotta love that Castlevania, man.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. Nintendo has announced that the legendary Excite Bike 64 is arriving in Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack. Players will race through dirt tracks on motocross bikes again with this iconic game coming to Nintendo Switch. It launches on Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack membership users on August 30th.
Boo.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding.
literally, like they're just drip feeding trash to us at this point just to keep people on it. But the thing is like Excitebike. The only experience I have with Excitebike 64 is McDonald's Play Place.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's what that makes me think of is McDonald's.
That's it. Like, give us Tony Hawk. At least that would be fucking
Yeah,
fun.
no, the licensing issues, that'd be a whole thing.
You know, I thought that, but they got Donkey Kong Country on, the Super Nintendo. I don't understand why they can't just do,
Donkey Kong is their own thing.
No, it's not. Not Donkey Kong Country was made by Rare.
Yeah, but like
which is
Nintendo
now owned by
owns
Xbox.
the Donkey Kong IP. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They own
like,
the IP.
Doesn't matter if Rare made the game. You know what I'm saying?
It does because Rare's name's all over it. Like even in the the logo pops up and everything.
I think that the opposite would be true if Rare wanted to put Donkey Kong in their Rare Replay
No, they couldn't
edition.
do that, yeah.
Exactly. But Nintendo can do whatever the fuck Nintendo wants
Though
to do.
they did
with
get
Donkey
Conker's Bad
Kong.
Fur Day, which was also Nintendo owned on Rare Replay.
Is Conker a first party Nintendo character?
No, it's not anymore.
Donkey Kong is a first party Nintendo character. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like there's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rare is Conker is like Banjo-Kazooie or something. He's not like a Nintendo character. You know what I mean? Like
He was at the time.
he was a Nintendo game. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like a I don't know. I feel like there's a difference. You know?
Yeah. The thing about Donkey Kong Country though, like whenever it originally came to the expansion pass plus, or not expansion, but just Switch Online, they people were worried that they weren't going to be able to do it because of the contracts that they had with Rare and everything. That's why.
I don't think Nintendo would ever put themselves in a position where they couldn't use one of their most notable IPs. You know what I mean? Even in any game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, back then, though, they didn't know they were going to sell off Rare. They didn't know that. They ended up, which is kind of weird because Rare made them, some of their best games ever. And then
I'm sure they have some sort of contract regardless of, if you know or think you're going to get sold, I'm sure that, the lawyers for Nintendo have every possible fucking,
yeah,
scenario planned out. You know what I mean?
Definitely. But what do you got since Devin's in there?
I think that's it, actually, for me.
I got one. Okay. Let me see. Oh, this is a pretty interesting one. It's great for developers. Apparently, Epic Games has revealed a new opt-in exclusivity program that allows third-party developers to keep 100% of the profits from newly released titles.
Who's doing this? Epic?
Epic Games, on their launcher or whatever.
Okay.
So if you opt into this exclusivity program, you get to keep 100% of the profits from newly released titles for a limited time in exchange for exclusivity.
Wow.
The new initiative,
that's really good.
known as the Epic First Run program, will allow participating developers to keep all of the profits from new releases launching on or after October 16th this year for a full 6 months.
Wow.
Once this period has passed, the revenue split will return to the regular split, which sees 88%
Which is still better
of revenue.
than Steam. Fucking.
Yeah, you only lose 12% after. Plus, after the first 6 months, you're probably not making much anymore. The first 6 months is where you make all your money. So after that, 12%'s not a big deal.
I think that's really good. You're gonna start seeing a lot more Epic exclusive games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it says, hold on, there was a little bit more. It says, in exchange, companies who opt into the program will be prohibited from selling their games on competing storefronts, including Steam Store.
So they'll have to be exclusive
during the
It's
6 month run.
Exclusivity program.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
That
it
makes
only
sense.
has to be exclusive for 6 months.
Oh, so after 6 months, you
Yes.
can. Oh my God! Why don't you
That's
have
even
to do
better,
this?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
it's a really good incentive plan.
literally the only thing you're losing out on is
Is the
people
Steam
people
people.
browsing the Steam storefront. But if you're a noteworthy enough game, you know what I mean? This would be way better than having a third-party launcher or something like a lot of games are doing to mitigate.
Yeah, fucking cut down on the damn launchers. I'm so tired of that shit.
I agree.
I still stand by it.
I agree. That's one thing I like that Xbox is doing. Every time they buy a studio that's got a third-party launcher, they're kind of pushing everything onto Steam and shit. You know what I mean?
It says a game will also be ineligible for the program if it had previously been offered on another third-party digital storefront. So, like, you can't just turn around and try to do it once you've already put it on Steam and stuff.
This is new games, you know?
Yeah. That being said, the deal does not prevent developers from selling through their own first-party digital store or from using Epic's keyless redemption program to sell through Epic partners like Humble Bundle or GOG, and creators will be free to sell their games on third-party storefronts once the 6 months is over.
What about consoles? Is this preventing you from going to console day one, or do you have to sit out that 6 months and then go to console?
I think this is just for PC.
That's what I was thinking. Because if you could still hit Xbox and PlayStation, that's another big part of your market. You know what I mean? As long as you're hitting PC, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it says the program will be available to developers of any scale and will grant participating titles a number of perks designed to increase exposure, such as allowing them to benefit from inclusion in, quote, relevant store campaigns, end quote, and being featured prominently on the Epic homepage.
If I'm a developer, I'm biting all over this, bro.
Yeah,
This sounds like a great deal on Epic's part.
Yeah, they're trying to, help people out.
This is a win-win if you're a developer and for Epic, because Epic needs something to set it apart from Steam, and they're trying really hard. You know what I mean? But Steam, especially after the Steam Deck,
Steam is just Steam,
dude. I mean, it's hard to compete with Steam right now, man. They're really eating up the market. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm all out of news though.
All right, I got a little bit more here.
No.
So apparently, where is it? Hold on, this is pretty interesting. Basically, not the CMA, but the people who were the UK people that were trying to block Xbox. Finally, Xbox was just like, you know what? You're trying to block us for streaming, which we don't give a fuck about. They sold their streaming rights to EA. They basically just like sold it to them, and they were like, you can do whatever you want with this, because apparently their streaming stuff, they lose money on their streaming.
Who, EA?
Xbox. Yeah, they were like, we don't know why you're stopping us because of this. Like, no one gives a fuck about streaming right now.
Not
They're like,
profitable.
it's not they were like, we actually lose money every time people stream. It costs us money. So like, because we're using our stuff to stream it or whatever. And they're like, you know what? Here, they sold their streaming rights basically to EA for like a certain amount. Like, they contracted it out to them.
Like,
basically EA can stream any of their games from like Game Pass or whatever. Like, it's some weird situation. Like, I don't even know, and I can't find the article that I had for it, but basically they were just like, fuck it, like, we don't need the streaming, like, it's not like something that we have to have, like, hold on, I gotta find this because Xbox sells streaming.
I mean, I could care less either way.
so wait,
'cause
are you
I'm
saying
not using
Xbox
streaming.
doesn't have streaming anymore?
Says to help greenlight the Xbox, to help get the green light, the Xbox maker made a unique deal with another major game publisher. Oh, it's Ubisoft, not EA. Cloud streaming rights for Activision Blizzard games will go to Ubisoft for the publisher's subscription service, according to a release from Microsoft.
Wait, say that whole thing a little slower. I'm sorry.
So, cloud streaming rights for Activision Blizzard games will go to Ubisoft for the publisher's subscription service. So, Ubisoft's like Connect or whatever their like streaming service will now have all of Activision Blizzard's streaming games. So like you won't stream games on Game Pass for Activision Blizzard games.
You'll have to go to Ubisoft Connect
if you want to stream them. Yeah.
How is this like improving the ecosystem for Xbox? Because Xbox is still fucking streaming other games, I'm assuming. It's not like they stopped cloud streaming.
Because this was the whole thing, the UK. So Microsoft is restructuring.
Is it because they were paying Ubisoft to have the rights to these games on their thing?
No, they're literally paying Ubisoft.
So they're saving money by not paying whatever fee they were paying to Activision? I'm sorry.
They're not saving money. The whole point was the UK like federation or whatever was trying to stop them from buying Activision Blizzard because of the streaming rights. So they were like, we don't even need them. They're like, here, we'll sell the rights over to Ubisoft. So they were like, we don't need the streaming. We don't give a fuck about streaming. They're like, we just want Activision Blizzard, like, like we want to put our games, or we want to own their games and put them on Game Pass. They're like, yeah, but the streaming is going to give you guys a giant leverage over every other company. And they're like, no one streams. They were like, nobody's streaming games right now, especially Activision Blizzard games. Like, you're not going to stream Call of Duty.
Also, nobody's using Ubisoft Plus, though. So if, like, the only person who has their game streaming other than them is Ubisoft Plus, then it's not really very much competition.
No, it's not a big deal.
It's kind of like a flash in the pan on their part. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so it said Microsoft is restructuring its proposed Activision Blizzard deal to transfer cloud gaming rights for current and new Activision Blizzard games to Ubisoft. The transfer of rights is designed to appease regulators in the UK that are concerned about the impact Microsoft's proposed deal will have on cloud gaming competition. The restructured deal has triggered a new regulatory investigation in the UK that could last until October 18th. To address the concerns about the impact of the proposed acquisition on cloud game streaming raised by the UK Competition and Markets Authority, we are restructuring the transaction to acquire a narrower set of rights, says Microsoft President Brad Smith. This includes executing an agreement effective at the closing of our merger that transfers the cloud streaming rights for all current and new Activision Blizzard PC and console games released over the next 15 years to Ubisoft Entertainment, a leading global game publisher. The rights will be in perpetuity. So they were like, dude, we just don't care about the streaming. Like, why is this such a big deal?
It's all good because we're going to buy Ubisoft next year anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be tight. They wouldn't be able to, though, because then...
I know, I'm just playing. Yeah, it's just funny.
That would be... Honestly, I think Ubisoft's going to die by next year. So, like, the rights will just go right back to Xbox. But honestly, this probably makes Ubisoft some money, because Ubisoft's been sucking lately. They're like, here, we'll give you guys the rights.
I really don't think this does much for Ubisoft at the end of the day. Like, okay, yeah, they have the rights. If Ubisoft actually...
It's free.
If Ubisoft plays this right, maybe they can make money because, like, if you say, like, maybe 5 years down the road, like... Activision Blizzard puts out fucking World of Warcraft or something, you know what I mean? The new one.
On streaming.
Everybody's freaking out. And it's like, oh, well, hold up. Fucking, I'm Ubisoft. I've got the fucking rights to fucking the streaming version of this. So at that point...
And everyone's like, fuck that.
Well, that affects so much, though. That affects fucking GeForce Now. That affects Xbox. Oh, yeah. That affects,
it affects anybody who tries to stream shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, theoretically, this could make Ubisoft lots of money way later down the road.
Yeah,
you know
if
what
streaming
I mean?
ever gets decent.
Well, it's only a 15-year thing.
Well, not even that.
Though.
I mean, there are people who rely on streaming regularly. Like I said, GeForce Now is a real thing, and people use it a lot. You know what I mean? Like, there are people who don't have PCs and just have good internet and fucking buy, like, shadow computers. You know what I mean? And use a remote desktop, basically, to use, like, computers that are in server room somewhere.
Though this would be completely different, though. Because you're having to use their platform to stream it. It's not like you can, it's not like...
Well, I mean, like... not necessarily. If they have the rights to the streaming version of if they have the ultimate rights to the streaming version of, like, fucking, whatever Activision game comes out, and, like, they get all the profits from it or whatever, they don't have to put it on their platform. They can put it on whatever the fuck they want, Ubisoft could fucking
technically, yeah, they
divvy
could
it out to everybody, if they wanted to. And I think that's Xbox's point is, like, okay, they probably will try to make as much money as they can for themselves, and therefore it won't saturate the market. I see where Xbox is going with this, but at the same time, it could totally backfire on them if Ubisoft... I'm sure they have some sort of, like, agreement with Ubisoft, like, hey... don't fuck us.
Well, and I'm sure, like, honestly, I mean, like I said, it's only 15 years. By 15 years, I think that's right when streaming is probably going to start getting good, and it'll go right back to Xbox at that point.
It's perfect, because that's right when Grand Theft Auto 6 will come out.
Yeah,
and fucking
15 years. Red Dead Redemption 3 will come out that year.
It's been
Elder Scrolls 6.
Dude, Elder Scrolls 6 will have another 10 years. All right, so let's see here. This one, I guess it's not huge news, but I like the way it looks. Pretty cool. Night Dive Studios has announced a Turok 3 Shadow of Oblivion remaster due out later this year. So,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they already did remasters of the first 2 games, but this one, it looks really cool. Like, I mean, it doesn't look anything like the N64 one, but it looks nice. And then, let's see, anything else? There was some frame rate issues or something with the Metal Gear Solid collection that's coming out. Konami has issued a fresh clarification on the resolution and frame rate of Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. In a statement issued to IGN, Konami said Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 has a 1080p 60 frames per second target on all platforms except for Nintendo Switch. This means the collection targets 1080p 60 frames per second on PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Specifically on Switch, the collection runs at 720p 30 frames per second in handheld mode and targets 1080p 30 frames docked mode. No platform runs the collection at 4K resolution. The clarification comes after confusion, blah, blah, blah. But basically, yeah, that's the
Boo.
yeah. In case you want that 720 30
Locked
frames
at
per
1080
second.
though. That's
Yeah, it's kind of garbage.
what? No, yeah, nobody. I don't know.
Who wants to play?
1080 gaming is on the out. Like unless it's
Yeah.
handheld.
I was about to say handheld is the exception
Different,
there.
yeah.
I think once you hit a screen that's, so small, the pixel density, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like honestly, 1080p and a handheld is excessive. Like fucking, you can't tell the difference between a 7-inch 1080p screen and a 7-inch fucking.
But on a big
720p
screen and other platforms, like 1080 locked at 1080p is.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
this the first game in this collection is. There's no point in even trying to play it. Like the first Metal Gear game is unplayable at this point. Like I've tried. I literally went back the other day and tried to play it, and it's just so old and ugly, and like you can't even see what's happening.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
And
maybe
you
you'll
know
be able
what's
to see
crazy to
now.
think about is like when that game dropped,
it was beautiful.
not just that. I'm pretty sure when it dropped, it was on the version of the PlayStation that didn't even have fucking thumbsticks.
It didn't,
So you're
yeah.
running around that bitch with fucking like
Analog or
Directional.
directional
D-pads.
pad. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Ugh.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not even worth trying to play. That game needs a reboot, like which they did on GameCube. It was Twin Snakes.
Oh yeah.
But they, that's the one they should have put on here. I don't know why they didn't just put Twin Snakes on there instead of. Well, I guess maybe Nintendo had the rights to it or something. But I feel like on the Switch version, since they only get 720p 30 frames, they should have put the Twin Snakes version just on the Switch one. But anyways, that's it for this week's video game news. We do have some hot releases, including Bomb Rush Cyberpunk coming to Series X and S and PS5 on September 1st. This is that spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio Future, the one that people have been talking about for a while. So that's coming pretty soon. Looks pretty cool, I guess. Looks like spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, and I think it's actually made by the same people.
That's
or
cool.
something like that. So, or some of the original people are working on it. Baldur's Gate 3 is coming to PS5 on September 4th.
Nice.
But
I'm hyped for all my PS5 folks to get to play this. Like, it's such a good game, man.
oh yeah, and Starfield Early Access begins on Xbox Series X and S, PC on September 1st.
I don't need it. I don't.
I need it.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
If it wasn't the premium edition, I would absolutely be buying it just for the early access.
At least we get to see like a bunch of reviews and stuff pretty soon. Like
Yeah,
we'll get
but-
to see what people think.
But my thing
Watch
is,
them.
it's launching on what, a fucking Monday or a Tuesday?
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah, but if early access, you get a whole fucking weekend with it, like early. Like that's my biggest thing. I'm not gonna have any fucking, or I'm not gonna have as much time as I want to play it during the week,
Yeah.
and that's gonna fucking eat at me.
Honestly, just I'm gonna be hard pressed to not buy it because that 6 days without it while everybody else is playing it is gonna be absolute torture.
Unless
for
everyone's
me.
like, this game sucks.
I'm not gonna say I'm hoping for that, but like my wallet is hoping for that.
Oh, what is okay.
A Wednesday, yeah. Next, it's
That's literally the day. That's my work week starts on Wednesday. So yeah, it sucks.
man.
Honestly, whether or not I buy it directly relates to how well it performs on the Steam Deck because like I don't want to fucking set up Windows on my Steam Deck and like
Is it coming to Steam?
Yeah, it is
Okay.
coming to Steam for sure. And like I don't know. My thing is like I don't know. I really do want to have it on the Steam Deck if it's functional.
What?
What?
You were like staring into my soul. I was like, did I say something dumb? No,
Of course it's coming to Steam, you idiot.
Yeah, well, I was like thinking, is it like a Game Pass exclusive or like a Xbox launcher exclusive? But no. Okay. Brent, round it up with the old Chat GP trivia for us.
All right. This time I thought we'd go with N64 themed trivia.
Okay.
But the first 5 questions it gave me were like dummy easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I don't like that.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say dummy thick.
It's just like a bunch of dummy thick questions.
Dude, this is crazy. First of all, another thing, by the way, is like it actually caught its own mistake in the first series of questions and then like corrected itself, but didn't give me a fucking... Like, can I just read you the one that was fucked up in the first series of questions?
Yeah.
It says, in this N64 game, you explore a haunted mansion as Luigi to rescue Mario. What's the game title? And then
Mario 64.
Well, in the answer, it says Luigi's Mansion. And then it says, note, this game was actually released on GameCube, not N64. Apologies for the mistake.
It's like, why even include it?
Why don't you just go back and fix it, you fucking AI? Anyways, but that's the kind of things you get when we're doing Chat GP trivia. So here we go.
Yeah.
5 questions that may or may not be true.
Okay.
Question number 1. In Banjo-Tooie for the N64, what is the name of the giant mechanical drill vehicle that Banjo and Kazooie use?
Is this multiple choice?
No.
Shit.
I never played Banjo-Tooie.
Shit.
The Drillinator. I don't fuck. Yeah.
I call it.
I didn't play it.
What's it start with?
A B.
Okay, and it's a drill. What now?
It's a giant mechanical drill vehicle that Banjo and Kazooie use.
Something we could guess.
You'll never guess.
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's
The bumblefuck.
no. It's B.O.B. the big old blaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Or the rapper.
Question number 2. Which N64 game developed by Rare features a character named Conker and is known for its mature and comedic
This is ridiculous. This is terrible, Brett.
Hey, look, that's what it said. I'm just reading the ChatGPT trivia.
Conker's
okay?
Bad Fur Day.
Kirby?
Hey, you got it.
Kirby's Bad Fur Day.
You got it. All right. Question number 3. In Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask for the N64, how many days are there in-game time cycle before the moon crashes into
3 days.
There you go. 3 days. You got it. All right. Question number 4. What N64 game released in 2000 is a 3D platformer where you control a young boy named Sarge as he battles against evil toy Tinker and his army? What?
He's not a boy.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's Sarge's army. Right? No.
This is saying, okay.
Sarge's war.
Guys, I don't make up this trivia, okay? If you're listening to this is all
Obviously.
ChatGPT, okay? It's saying this is Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the rescue.
I'm pretty sure that's Army Men Sarge's
Yeah,
war.
I don't know, man. Fucking, I have no idea.
Or it might just be called Army Men. Like, I don't remember. Oh, well, fuck. Just how about you just be like, give me 3 more questions with the answer. Or, like, like, just... that way we get some decent ones.
It's not going to give us decent ones. I honestly...
Go GameCube
they're all
then or
really
something.
bad. All right.
Maybe N64 is too, like...
Give me 3 multiple choice. Hang on. Oh, my God.
So, anyways.
Yeah, y'all have fun for a second.
Patty cake. Yeah.
Fucking get it together, ChatGPT. Like, what are you doing?
How's it gonna take over the universe?
So far, I don't have much faith. Honestly, it's getting worse every time. Like, it used to actually give us, like, semi-coherent questions, and now it's just fucking insane.
When are we getting ChatGPT, like, the next-gen version?
Nah, but say they're, what is it, 4.0 or 5.0 about to launch?
All right, here you go. These questions are pretty easy, but here we go.
Okay.
Well, at least the first one is. I didn't read them all. Question number 1. What was the storage medium used by GameCube games? Was it A, a CD, B, DVDs, C, cartridges, or D, mini discs?
A cartridge.
Mini disc.
It was definitely mini discs.
Oh, you're talking about,
We're talking about GameCube.
Yeah.
But I thought didn't have save cartridges?
He's not. Is he? I thought you were
misheard the
talking about
question.
memory card as well.
Yeah,
like
I misheard the question.
No, it's mini disc.
Oh, like what media was the games on?
Yeah,
Mm.
it had the little tinies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Little tinies.
All right, let's see. Which iconic Nintendo character made their debut as a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube?
Oh, that's
Ness?
Is it A, Yoshi, B, Bowser, C, Princess Peach, D, Princess Daisy?
it's Daisy. But like out of those, it would be Princess Daisy. But none of those are debut, like at all. You said you said Yoshi, Bowser.
Had their debut in Smash?
Smash Melee.
Oh, I'm dumb. It's Bowser.
It is Bowser.
No, I thought like it was gonna be like like their debut video game
no,
character.
like their first playable
Oh,
experience. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daisy's definitely not Melee. I don't even know why that just like came to my
Was she
brain.
not? Oh, they have a peach skin that makes her look like Daisy, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 3. In The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker for the GameCube, what is the name of Link's talking boat companion? Is it A, Epona, B, Navi, C, Toddle, or D, King of the Red Lions?
Navi.
It's King of the Red Lions.
It is King of the Red
This is an
Lions.
Avatar? What?
And there
Boom.
you go. You got it. Boom.
Avatar, The Last Airbender. Remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of GameSpeakPodcast.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast platforms, but you can watch it live before anyone else on twitch.tv/GameSpeakPodcast every Monday evening at 7:50 p.m. CST. Be sure to join us and the rest of the GameSpeak podcast community at dsc.gg/GameSpeakPodcast. Check out our other video content on YouTube. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle Al Jaffer Jamil, Brent at Brent Hayes 1, that's number 1, and Devin at Devondres. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. Until next time, listeners,
Later.